Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Co-optional Podcast, brought to you by Disney Entertainment. I am a cat, as per the contractual obligations imposed upon me by my parent company.
The rest of us aren't.
They are not. This was punishment.
But I do have a butt mug.
That is true, but you cannot have it anymore. Because
I like the
this is a
refreshing
Disney-friendly channel.
Of Mountain Dew Kickstart. It's the best.
Since I'm drinking a competitor brand coffee, I made sure to keep the label off and point it away from the camera.
Well, I mean, you are actually drinking the dew from the cup, right? Because
of course. That's
the wonderful
what
thing.
Normal people do. Yeah.
That's the wonderful thing about the flexibility of the dew, is that you don't have to have it in the can, you can have it in another container. That's great. I mean, that really helps, I feel, enhance the creative process.
Do the dew, man.
A good breakfast.
Do the dew.
So,
Your cat face is tweaking out.
You drank too much.
I had too much dew. Help! Help!
Too much dew.
Here's the thing.
It's not. I think I broke it. Oh God, help!
He's an alley cat. He's a tweaking alley cat. He has just had too much of the catnip, and he's lost his job. He's in the street. Even his collar is.
Gotta buy some fish heads. I got some fish heads. Three fish heads. That's only 3. The finest.
Oh, I feel really glad that I'm not a cat right now.
Yeah. All right. Okay. It ruined, but look at it. Like the illusion is shattered. Like you see the zoom. Look at the zoom.
Everything.
It's like, oh God. It turns out my background is not as large as I was pretending up to this point. Quick, zoom in more. Okay, that's too much.
Values we have here.
I gotta angle it down. It's too late. You gotta angle it down.
It's fine. Look, this is fine. This is fine. Trust me. I crop like a motherfucker. It's great.
Oh, okay.
It's all a ruse.
Yes.
It's all a big ruse.
Yes. Welcome to the Co-optional Podcast. It's brought to you by Disney Interactive. My name is Total Biscuit, and I am very happy to introduce our special guest for the day, the man who is instantly regretting his participation in the show, Mr. Super BunnyHop.
Hello, everybody. I'm actually, George Weedman. The channel is called Super BunnyHop. I don't really know how that works, but you might have seen my stuff, maybe not. I don't know, but it's cool stuff. You should check it out.
What do you make?
Should.
Tell everybody.
It kind of borderlines journalistic content. Like I was in GDC last week, and I ended up releasing a bunch of previews, interviews, and then this really long editorial video about VR's not for you.
No, borderline journalistic content.
So, Jesse, integrity, right? That's...
I don't know what you're referring to, TD.
Oh my gosh, I watched for the first, it was such a blast from the past. I was watching the video that Mindflame made, the gamer food one from forever ago.
Oh God.
It was so good. I was like, that was our first bout of terrible product placement. It got turned into a great video.
Indeed. By the way, guys, if you do want to check out Mr. BunnyHop's channel, and I will call him Mr. BunnyHop because it's to his ire. It's great.
I'll answer to it.
Is gradually being annoyed by it. To be fair, you're in the same kind of boat that I am, in that you, once you kind of made it big, you instantly regret the choice that you made in terms of branding.
It feels really weird talking to my dad about Total Biscuit, but that's what I kind of have to do.
Hey guys, I'm the most trustworthy, incredible critic for PC games on the internet, and I call myself Total Biscuit. I am a fucking idiot.
Can we just call you the Hop from now on? Because I'd like it.
Yeah, I actually like that better than Mr. I am the Hop.
What about SB Hop? SB Hop.
SB Hop sounds like the name of like an enigmatic writer who's just sits in the corner of a bar drunk writing down the next great American novel written by SB Hop.
I see that my persona is gradually rolling out of my control and into the hands
death of the
of
author,
other people.
Man. Death of the author. That's how it gets.
Welcome to the podcast.
This is how it happens.
Everybody.
Yep. BunnyHop Show. YouTube.com/BunnyHop Show is how you find that channel. And I would, of course, criticize our overlords for getting the name Super BunnyHop underneath instead of your channel name. However, I cannot do that because it was decided that Super BunnyHop is more kid-friendly. And we are, of course, part of the Disney network. It is vitally important to maintain that image.
I mean, it'll be nice, like, getting off the podcast.
Go on.
I'm sorry, what? Go on.
There are going to be like 400 emails in my inbox, and it'll be great.
Mm-hmm.
It feels really good to wake up in the morning and get off of whatever I was doing and see that I got 400 emails because Total Biscuit liked something.
Right?
And they're all
what
terrible
I'm talking
emails.
about, right?
Every last one of them.
Yep.
Oh, man. Welcome to the Co-optional Podcast.
I love you guys.
We do occasionally talk about video games. Coming up on the show, we'll be talking about what we've been playing this week. We'll be covering some of the news that has been coming our way. And then, of course, we'll be covering releases. If we have any other topics, we'll kind of jam them in towards the end of the show. And then try to wrap up around 3 hours in by telling you where to go so you can watch our ads. And so we can pay the rent.
Right, yes.
Click on them. Click on every ad.
Don't actually do anything of the sort. That will really be a bad idea. That is how that's how you get click fraud, and no one likes click fraud. Terrible idea. However,
Yes.
right.
Yes.
Right?
Let's get this damn thing out of the way, shall we? Let's open the show with this.
I just tweeted out the podcast, which I should have done 25 minutes ago. It's live, guys! It's
Thanks for
right
that.
now.
Much appreciated. Good.
I retweeted about the podcast, but I feel like I should also tweet about the podcast.
Yes. A lot of people have retweets turned off, I discovered. We did some statistical monitoring on this stuff.
Retweet?
Yeah.
You can turn off retweets?
Yeah, you can turn off retweets so you can't see them.
Some of you didn't get my cat spam? What are you doing? All day yesterday, it was just cat pictures. You could have had a wall of cat pictures.
Oh no, I got it, and then I promptly deleted you from my phone. I was like, not today, Dodger. Not the mood today. We'll
That's
see
all
about
it
tomorrow, but I'm not. It was just
Popping open that
cat
filter
picture, cat
box.
Very fragile
Yeah.
strings connecting these three.
Indeed.
picture. Oh,
Very much so. No doubt. We are barely held together by a mutual love of money.
I don't blame you.
To be fair, why else would
It
we
works.
tolerate each other? Okay.
I love you both. That's why
Yes.
I'm here.
I love you both too.
Just wanted to say that it's an honor. I'm a fan of your work.
That's TB's way of saying he loves you.
Indeed.
Yeah.
Indeed. I've actually managed to run the batteries out on this thing, if you can believe it. I had to replace them. I think that should
No
be indicative
way.
of how strong
Is that
the
why?
internet is.
Wait, is that why last week when you went to press the button, nothing happened
Yep.
and you just awkwardly set it down?
Yeah, I pretty much. I ran the batteries out.
I was like, whoa, I didn't hear that at all. No, I know why.
All right, let's talk about Game Jam. If you thought we were going to shy away from the subject just because we happen to be on that network, no. Because guess what's more valuable than our contracts?
I don't have anything to do with it, so I can say
No.
whatever I
You.
want.
No, Mountain Dew,
No, I do.
no, it is not. No. Credibility, ladies and gentlemen. Let's talk about credibility. So, two of us were mildly involved in this. At least two of us dodged one hell of a fusillade of bullets. And someone was front and center. Yes. And then we had Mr. Weidman. Is it Weidman or Weedman?
Weedman,
Yes.
but
We have Mr. Weedman here
I
sitting
thought
on
I
the
was Mr.
sidelines.
Hop. Or the Hop.
You're the hop.
B-hop.
Don't
SB
you're the
hop.
hop.
Yeah.
You're the hop.
The hop-de hop.
The notorious
Do the hop-de
HOP.
hop.
The notorious HOP is nice. But anyway, sorry, you were saying something important and dignified. Do go on.
It's hard to talk about anything important on this podcast. It just
Yeah.
evolves really quick. And then we go, what were we talking about?
I would tend to agree. Okay, so the story broke, I believe it was yesterday. If you're watching this live, it would have
Yesterday
been
was press day.
Monday.
When
Yeah,
everything
pretty
just
much.
kind of flew out.
Jared.
Yeah, so
Epic.
for the last few months, a lot of us have known about this. The idea that they were going to do a game jam with Polaris. And the point of it was to put in, to create teams which would include experienced developers along with a YouTuber who'd kind of be the ideas man and also the person connecting the audience to the developers themselves. When I first heard about it, when they asked me basically to be the head judge, I was really excited about the idea because
It's a good idea.
Yeah, it sounded like a fantastic idea.
Sounds entertaining.
I love the notion of demonstrating to the audience what game development is. Because that is perhaps the biggest problem with modern gamers is they do not in any way understand the development cycle. And as a result, their expectations are usually kind of driven by ignorance, and it's not their fault, because really there's actually not that many resources to gain access to that information without plodging through a lot of stodgy and difficult to read stuff. So this sounded like a great idea. Connect to game development in an accessible way, get it out to a wide audience, potentially very fun. It could get a bit competitive. I was very much looking forward to being the head judge in it, because why would I not love to critique games that kind of you guys had been involved in? But about a month or so ago, I ended up turning the position down, mostly because I heard about how they were going to film it, and that they wanted me to be out in LA, and frankly, my health has not been too great. And I've kind of been sticking around the home area right now, and I'm not really flying out to the other side of the country at the moment. And something kind of smelled a bit off with it. Like, it seemed like maybe it was getting a little bit too big for its own good, And that was the last thing I'd heard about it until yesterday, whereby a whole slew of news comes out from Mr. Jared Rosen posts his big article in Indie Static. And then we have a bunch of developers also sharing their stories, which kind of verifies everything that was going on, because pretty much every developer involved in it said the same thing. They all kind of confirmed that. So this news appears to be valid. Now, Jesse, you were offered a little bit of involvement in this, weren't you? What happened with you?
He was almost involved.
Yes,
a day shy of involvement.
A long time ago, back probably when they were asking you stuff, they asked me if I wanted to judge it as well. And I was like, yeah, I'd love to. And then as time went on, I swear, this is a legit conversation. This is an email, and I would pull it up now if I was afraid touching the internet would make my screen look blurry. But the email basically was like, the sponsors are not a fan of your camera presence. And so we'd like you to be a guest judge instead. And so literally I was like, oh,
is that a burn?
Oh, I assume it's a hardcore burn. I imagine that's like, oh, slam. But I was like, okay. I mean, because here's the thing. I don't know about anybody else, but no money was ever mentioned. So I assumed I was doing this because I was a nice guy. And so I was like, fine.
Oh, no money was mentioned to you? Oh, they offered me a bunch.
No, no money was mentioned to me. So I assumed at that point it didn't matter. And I was like, whatever, sure. They're like, it'll be like an hour of your time. I was like, fine, okay, whatever. And at that point, I was like, I don't even fucking care anymore. And so, I
think it's a good job I turned this down, because they would have definitely not been a fan of my camera presence. I can tell you that for a fact.
And so, and I was just like, whatever. So then Thursday rolled around, last Thursday, and at the time, shout out to my dude Ben. One of my butterflies, Ben, who was part of Make-A-Wish, came out to spend the day with me, and we went around and did a whole bunch of stuff. And at the end of the day, took him over to Maker, where all the Rodeo Arcade t-shirt stuff is, and I was going to give him a whole bundle of things to go. And they were filming that day, and I was like, oh, we can go take a look at this, because I imagine there's a lot of money involved. This is gonna be really cool to look at. Like, let's go. So his whole family and everyone's blown away by everything going on. And the moment I realized it wasn't what I thought it was originally was, I see Sam and Markiplier, and they're like, off to go run and do something. Like, we'll hit you up in a sec. I'm like, okay. And then I ask our good friend Aaron, I'm like, what is going on? Why is this set empty? And he's like, oh, well, they're doing a Let's Play competition right now. And I was like, oh no. I was like, that has nothing to do with the game jam. I was like, what do you mean competition? And he's like, well, it's part of the overall point system. I was like, oh boy.
It just gets worse and worse.
I was like, I'll see you tomorrow, guys. And I told him, I told Aaron, which I thought, I still hold by this, and I want to let you know up front, Dodger, I was going to, no matter what, vote Sam to win, because I want to force a year's supply of Mountain Dew on Sam and have him have to drink all of it and just deteriorate as a man and just become a shell of a human being. That's what I wanted. And so that's what I would have done. That's why I stuck it out. I was like, look, I don't care that Mountain Dew doesn't think I don't have camera presence.
Right.
Oh.
But
keep
I will say that I would have given it to Sam, no matter what. No matter what, Sam would have won, because he deserved to drink Mountain Dew and die of diabetes.
For the rest
Super
of his
diabetes.
life.
Yep.
Not, of course, that we would suggest that drinking a lot of Mountain Dew would ever give you any kind of diabetes, because...
I would.
Of course not.
I would.
I can tell you for a fact that Disney Interactive Incorporated conglomerate Super Moon person would absolutely not agree with that statement and would not want us to say it. So we're just making that clear.
I've always wondered, why is it Mountain Dew? Why is Mountain Dew like the video game sponsored beverage?
I don't know.
Why isn't it Crystal Light or something?
No. There's actually.
It bloody well bet should be Crystal Light. I can tell you that for a fact. Currently, I'm drinking sugar-free Mio. There we go.
No. There's. I think Dodger might know this too. There's actually companies like PepsiCo have a big list of stuff that's like, this brand is associated with this, and this brand is associated with it. So, like, Diet Dr. Pepper is associated, or Diet Dr. Pepper, Diet Pepsi is associated with, like, go-getter women on the prowl, looking for the new, and they have, like, a list of, like, specific things.
Oh, yeah,
and
it's called demographics. I mean, you know, we target them ourselves if need be.
And Mountain Dew is extreme sports and video game. It's like, it's Generation X, man. Although I guess we're all old people now, but still, that's what it is.
It's something tells me that the people who are like athletic and fit enough to play extreme
don't drink
sports
Mountain Dew.
Don't sit around and play video games and drink Mountain Dew.
Probably not. Mountain Dew
Yeah.
gives me crushing headaches. I'll just point that out.
Oh, well, now we just lost our sponsorship.
Oh,
as
what
much
a
of it as I
shame.
used to. But
You were
I don't know
saying
what you're
something.
talking about.
all right, so basically, I was going to say, Dodger has the most insight into this,
Yeah,
so the
she
floor
should be
is
talking
absolutely
up.
So
open
let
to
her talk.
Dodger. Let's stop interrupting her.
Okay,
Sorry.
guys.
all I,
Let Dodger talk.
okay, first thing that I was going to
Dodger,
say
go
is
on, please. I think
Jesse.
Oh, sorry.
Oh my god. I hate you guys so much. Okay.
Jesse, on this podcast, do you feel you're at a disadvantage because you have a woman on the show?
True. It's true. I have to compete.
No, at an
I'm not the
advantage.
sexiest one anymore. It's the worst.
Right, shut up.
I
Let
guess,
Dodger
like-
talk.
I guess they also really didn't like me, the sponsors, and they didn't trust me to be a competent host at all. And everybody was like, "No, trust us. She can do this job." And they were like, "I don't know about that." And like everybody at Polaris that has worked with me a lot was like, "I promise you, she's not going to embarrass you. It's going to be fine."
Like that's your content.
Yeah, and then like half of the day in, everybody who was part of this production company was like, "Wow, you're way more competent than most of the people we work with." And I was like, "Yeah, that's right."
You know what that means? That means they don't watch this stuff.
No, I mean that's exactly what it means. But it also means that, and it's a weird sort of breed that you see on YouTube. And we all know who I'm referring to when I refer to this. But there's a lot of young lady hosts who appear out of nowhere, face of gaming, and it's like, who are you again? And why am I trusting your words? And suddenly it's like
There are channels of that. Whole channels which are nothing but that.
But the thing is then because they're very, very attractive women, they instantly, a company will pick them up and suddenly they're in your face constantly. And it's like, well, this just happened. Like, I don't, it drives me crazy. And I beyond respect Dodger constantly because of your inability to be like, look, internet, boobs. Right? It's a very nice thing to know.
You can't even tell they're there.
It drives me crazy because a long time ago someone asked me like, what's the difference between like a gamer and a girl gamer? And I was like, girl gamer's a thing. You're a gamer. Everyone's a gamer. Girl gamer's that BS of like, I'm super beautiful and now I'm gonna play games. And then you insult everyone else. That infuriates me. Don't do that. Be a gamer. Be a gamer. And that's the thing that I think.
Gamer is a gender neutral pronoun.
Yes. Our beloved sponsor, I feel like they were looking for that. They were like, let's sex it up. Let's make it super sexy. And that's
well, it's obvious that they did by the sounds of it. But again, Dodger would know more about this than we would, so let her bloody talk.
Well, I do know that like the reason that we all heard about this so long ago is because this game jam went through many iterations.
Yes, it did.
Right? More and more people and sponsors got involved, got interested in being involved, and the creative voice was completely lost.
Yes.
Which was problem number one. where they were like, no, this needs to be more competitive. There needs to be more drama. There needs to be more this, more that. And I think that over time, because it happened so gradually, they were giving more and more and more and more, being like, I guess this is okay. I guess this is okay. And by the end, it became something completely different than what they wanted it to be, which was, hey, let's showcase the respect and mutual trust between game developers and the indie scene. Wouldn't that be great? And then it turned into this, which was really, really sad because I hadn't really been talked to between the first time that I was asked and the final product. So like when I walked in that day, I was like, oh, this seems very reality show competitive, you know, very different from what I had imagined. And I know that a lot of the developers, when we were talking backstage, they were like, yeah, I'm surprised that anyone would want to do something like this because, you know, game development is so boring. They thought, you know, like watching a game jam would be so boring. And I was like, no, I think it would have been way more interesting if it was literally just covering a game jam. You know, no horned in competitions, nothing like impeding the process. If anything, the YouTubers compete to get things to help their team, like better equipment, stuff like that. And the devs are left alone. Right. So like it turned into something completely different. They brought in people that do not work with us, a production company that has never worked with us before. I will say all of the people on crew for that production company were fantastic, sweetest people in the world. But Maddie, the dude who was brought in as the producer, was gross. Like from the get-go, he was just Hollywood gross. And I was like, I don't know about this. But again, I was like, well, he's not the director. You know, it's like not a big deal. He's not going to be calling the shots. But the problem was he was calling the shots. Like he was allowed into a place where he was saying to do things and people would do it. And eventually everybody assumed that he was in charge. It was like, oh, he's telling us to do stuff, so I guess we listen to him. And it was like that really dangerous situation of like just being sheep, being like, I guess I'm supposed to do this thing, you know? And over the course of the first day, I want to make it very clear that for the most part, nobody knew what was going wrong. You could just tell something was going wrong. It wasn't that we were ignoring it. It wasn't that horrible things were happening and horrible things were being said and nobody cared. It was that things were being said when nobody else was around.
Yeah.
And it wasn't until later, when everybody could trade stories, that anything even came to light as like, this is a serious problem. You know, originally it felt like, oh, this is stuff that we can move past and we'll all just, you know, nobody will start drama. If they ask for drama, we won't give it to them, you know, whatever.
And to be fair, it should be made clear that when you're involved in a big production like that, this is my experience as well, even when I came down for the Pacific Rim thing, which was even on a much smaller scale than this, you are not all in the same room hearing what is going on. Stuff is filmed separately, in separate places, completely independent. With Pacific Rim, it was, I believe, like 4 major different filming sessions, at least. And
it was two of us at a time.
Two at a time.
We never saw like anybody else's footage until the final product was up.
Actually, hold on. We saw Aaron and Jontron because they took 5 hours to film their stuff.
Oh, okay.
I just want to call them out. They are very unprofessional.
Yeah, I did all because I was in first. I did all of my voice acting, and I use that term loosely, assuming that you were there but invisible. You know, that was the kind of thing that we did. We were talking to you, but we had no reply from any of it. So we had to do everything independently. And this is obviously on a much bigger scale than even the Pacific Rim thing, which was actually a big deal, and there was a good amount of money put into it, and it was a very successful project for everyone. Everyone was happy. Everyone was happy with Pacific Rim. And I thought
Pacific Rim was fun from start to finish.
It was fun and successful. Like it was a good marketing campaign for that movie, and it was well executed. This sounds like it really does sound like something that grew completely out of control. And then somehow some guy comes in who is, like you said, Hollywood sleazeball and gains control and completely perverts the creative direction.
I feel. Please continue.
No,
you
go
have
for it.
much more input. No, I was gonna say, like, I feel like success is the key. Like making a video that's successful that people watch. And I brought this up to TV a day or two ago. I don't understand, at least from a YouTube standpoint, why the creation of a reality show was deemed a successful enterprise. Like, why people would want to make that? Because I guarantee no one on YouTube wants to watch a reality show.
Yep.
Like, just the YouTube audience, no one wants to watch it. People at Maker, if you're watching this right now, no one wants to see a reality show on YouTube. No one. Or else the Sony PlayStation reality show would still be a thing. People would still watch that. But it's not. And I guarantee what would have happened, and you see this all the time with big new ideas. First episode, 400, 500,000, and after that it would peter off into nothing.
Boom.
Because
straight away. Yeah.
people would be driven to the first episode, like, oh, this is gonna be a great episode, and watch and be like, it's a reality show on YouTube. I could go to TV if I want this. That's why people left TV to go to YouTube to begin with.
Key point, like the key point that we have to come across here. Why is it that channels like ours are getting view counts which are now competitive with cable television? Because we cater to an audience that cable TV never managed to capture, and frankly is losing in spades right now because of this kind of thing. We got cable in the house very recently, and it was because my mother-in-law basically moved into the basement suite. So we keep it down there. It's kind of like a little dungeon thing.
Ooh, the basement suite.
That's what we like to call it anyway. It's like, it was saving rent. Whatever the case. She moved in there and she asked, could we get cable? It's like, okay, well, obviously we have cable internet, but we've never had a use for TV because we're basically like cord cutters, I suppose is the term. We have Hulu, Amazon, Netflix. Like we use Redbox Instant a little bit, and that's really about it. And that's all we need, right? But we get cable, and it's like, okay, let's flick through the channels. And we keep going. It's like, there is nothing here. And then when I find something that I want to watch, it's instantly interrupted by fucking ads for so long as well. And anyone that complains about the ads on YouTube has never watched a cable show within the past 10 years. 12 minutes of ads every 60 minutes of content. Constant interruptions all the damn time. Obnoxious as hell. And like, wow, this is why I left TV. And I'm so glad that I am able to make the content I currently make and have people watch it, because it's obvious there was an audience for it. And everyone on television, all they want to do is produce a very specific kind of manufactured reality content that, frankly, appeals to the most vapid components of our brain.
Well, that's like, Jared really hit the nail on the head in his article when he was saying the sort of drama that they were trying to manufacture and create for this show is the sort of stuff that our viewers would find so incredibly off-putting.
Yeah, distasteful.
Absolutely. Like these are issues that we've beaten to death because there's still issues. And the fact that he would try to bring all of that into the show.
We would sexism into it. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me?
It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. And that's why I find it so sad that this went from let's host a game jam and just cover it as though it was an event. And then it turned into let's host a reality show where 4 teams compete to make the best game. I was so sad to realize that shift had happened.
I would have been less depressed if it had ended up being another series of Ultimate Gamer, and that was bad enough in and of itself. And it sounds, at least with Ultimate Gamer, you're not perverting something that was going to be any good to begin with. Yeah, Ultimate Gamer was gonna suck, regardless of what. So it just became this stupid parody. It's like, hey, let's watch Jeff in Control Robinson on a dance mat. This is fucking hilarious. But this could have been great. And that's the really sad thing about it. And that's why when it gets torpedoed by some Hollywood slime ball, that I get incredibly depressed. Not to mention the amount of money that was just thrown away on it. Good Lord. Hey, Mr. Weedman.
Yes. Hi, everybody.
Indeed.
Sorry, I'm just I'm so distanced from this.
That's why I want your opinion on it, because what you have seen so far, you've read the articles, you're up to date on the kind of situation. I'd love to hear your take on it, basically from someone who is not kind of as close to Polaris as we are.
Right. I mean, I'm just 3,000 miles away from California. I would love to move to California and do it, but I also have
don't do it.
day jobs to take care of at home. Also, Atlanta's really cheap. that's a nice thing about living here. But anyways,
so is North Carolina. It's lovely.
Yeah, it has our perks here on the East Coast.
Indeed, it does.
But I weirdly interpreted this bit of news as good news partly because I didn't have to deal with wasting a bunch of time and money actually getting involved with it and then seeing it fall apart. But because at the end of the story, there's it's this inspiring revolt where the good guys still come on top at the expense of I don't really want to call them bad guys, but Matty got kicked out. This isn't going to be good for his career at all.
I hope not. And if it is, everything's broken in the system. Everything.
Ultimately, they ended up avoiding a crisis. I mean, it was a shitty situation that happened, but it was still a crisis that got averted. And I think another important thing to consider is that they knew it was a crisis coming precisely because the audience that we cater to is more savvy to issues like product placement and sexism and whatever, especially coming off of Dorito Gate from last year, where Jeff Keighley got, if that's how you pronounce his name, got absolutely shat on for sitting next to a pile of Doritos and looking really sad about it.
That 1,000-yard stare.
I think as horrible of a story as that was, specifically with what happened to the reporter who covered it, it's kind of inspiring to see a story like this break out where the reporter ends up getting treated really well. And that's another thing I really enjoyed about it, is that this story broke as a 5,000-word editorial expose feature. You had to sit down and get invested in this guy's writing. It begins with this flowery...
Yes,
and I gotta say...
I don't subscribe to corporate culture. and it's cheesy as hell. And you see a lot of comments who don't like those first few paragraphs, but it sets the tone right away. It's this guy totally indulging in his own personal experiences. And I think it's really fortunate that it did not happen. And in a weird way, I think it's kind of fortunate that it did happen because we're going to learn from it. And I also think it's really fortunate that there was a reporter on the scene who I now want to say is an excellent reporter. And it's also really fortunate that he can share it with us in this way, that it's a lot more of an investment to learn this story and know it than it is watching a YouTube video about it or a little 300-word inverted pyramid blog spam post about it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
It's been on for a while.
It's a 3-hour show. Someone's got to fill the fucking it. But yeah, I mean, I agree with that as well. Again, his writing style, subjective, whatever. I think the opening statement was kind of cringeworthy, but whatever. I mean, once I got into it, I got a lot of good information about what happened.
It was fun reading it, and it really shouldn't be fun reading about this horrible tragedy, but it was. I gotta admit, as someone not connected to it, this was a really fun story to follow because it had a weirdly happy ending from my point of view.
I was really pleased with the general response from gamers. And basically it kind of sucks that yet again, because of some mistake that Polaris made, everyone who's involved with Polaris's name got dragged through the mud again. And now that's lovely. It's can we stop with that? I'm sick of it. It must be how Machinima's been feeling for the past 10 years. But this was really a case where everyone came out and said, fuck everything about that. We take a firm stand against this nonsense, against the fact that in the contract, it was apparently required that the developers allow deliberate misrepresentation of the facts for dramatic purposes.
I want to ask you guys about that. Is that common? Is that normal?
I've never seen that in any contract I've ever been in, but I don't do reality shows. So
on reality shows and shows of that nature where it's about editing more than it is about the actual content, because you're recording a whole day and putting it into 30 minutes or whatever you're doing, they're going to edit it to make it more entertaining, and that's always in there. And most people in this world are very okay with that because I'm going to be on TV. That's the mentality. Sure, whatever, make me whatever. And then it's only afterwards in many reality show circumstances where they come out in public and are like, I'm not that person at all. Yeah. And most people don't get reality shows need heroes and they need villains and they need drama. And that's how it works. That's what all TV is like. And that's why people watch it. And so there you go.
I guess another thing I want to ask is what the language for those clauses look like. In the story, they actually say legal misrepresentation, but how do they say it on an actual contract? If you're allowed to speak on behalf of your own self.
I think a lot of us here, if we don't have lawyers, we have access to lawyers, and every time I bring a contract to a lawyer, I swear to God, they're like, it's like an alleyway wrapped in an enigma, wrapped in a confusing puzzle. Like, it's just a paragraph saying one thing, like one sentence in a paragraph. Like,
they try to like just be very thorough.
You have to be well. You have to be specific. There should be no room for interpretation, and when there is, that's when court cases happen.
Yep.
So
and that's how
fine.
Weird loopholes and things.
Yeah, I generally don't have a problem reading contracts because I did law at uni and it helped a lot to be able to read that stuff. We do contract in first year, but yeah, you have to be very specific, and there's also very specific legalese language that is used, which means a very specific thing. And it might even mean something, well, it definitely means something other than what it would mean to a layman, you know?
So you have a law degree, TV. What would you say if you wanted to legally misrepresent someone on a piece of broadcasted media?
Well, I would definitely not draft an American contract because they use entirely different laws over here. But it would be something along the lines of, because firstly they would come up with a term for the person who's actually signing the contract. Because it would start with hereby referred to as, basically to stop you from writing Jesse Cox into every one. You know, it's obviously not going to be the plaintiff. That would be a little bit of a weird one. Although if this keeps going this way, it might end up being the plaintiff. Who knows? But it would be the whatever basically accepts that, blah, blah, blah. And that footage may be used in such a way. It would always be something like in such a way as to...
In such
a way.
That's vague.
Or they would most likely do it in the affirmative, I would think, in that they would say, look, we might do this, rather than, we are not responsible for anything that goes wrong here when it comes to you being misrepresented on the show. They would probably be more proactive about it. But as I say, my law degree is very old, as is my knowledge of it, and I've forgotten most of it. But it would definitely be written in a very strange way, and it would certainly be the kind of thing you definitely have to run past a lawyer immediately.
I've been corrected. I called Matty a producer. He was a Pepsi consultant. He wasn't associated, which makes it even worse. He wasn't associated with the production company.
Is that what's on his business card?
I don't know.
He works. There's a company he works for, actually.
Isn't it AMP? He works with AMP for something, which is another Mountain Dew thing.
It's some brand.
It had a really weird name.
Is it Matty Lesh? Is it not Matty? Is it Matty Lesham?
Matty Lesham. Protagonist.
Yeah.
A television production company.
Yes. Yeah, Protagonist.
So, there you go, right there. Fictional symbols moving through your
Founder and CEO. Mm-hmm. Interestingly, this guy apparently has his fingers in many different pies.
Oh, well then I hate to break it to you, he's gonna be just fine, Internet. I don't want to spoil the story for you, but in the end, he gets away. He's like Darth Vader at the end of the first Star Wars. He'll be back.
Well, but the people we care about still
as long
came
as
out.
it stays the hell away from YouTube, I couldn't care less. Like, it's blindingly obvious, I think, that no one in their right mind who's doing this kind of content would ever want to work with this person. Because, again, he doesn't fucking get it. How many times have I said this before? Why the hell do we, as YouTubers, chase the guys that are fucking 10 years behind us already? We're able to produce media that has, like, a return on investment that basically blows even reality TV out of the water. The viewership we get versus the cost it actually takes to create our content, the ratio is ludicrous. It's insane. And it's proven beyond a shadow of a doubt that these highly edited production values and the amount of people required to make a show like that are effectively obsolete at this point, because people care about a very specific kind of content. And when it comes down to production, as long as the production isn't getting in the way of their level of enjoyment, they will watch anything. They will listen to anything. They are sitting here watching 4 guys on pixely webcams talk for 3 hours every single week, and we can't even stay on topic, and yet they come back for more and more and more. We have 13,000 concurrents on the stream right now. We get 150,000 viewers every episode, not to mention the amount of podcast downloads we get on iTunes. Come on.
There's an incredible video that proves this point perfectly. It's called Waffle Falling Over, and it is of a waffle falling over. 2 million views. 2 million views. It's like 30 seconds long. It's just a waffle, and it goes like, boop, and that's the end of the video.
We live in interesting times, my friends.
It has nothing to do with how much money you put into it. It has to do with what it is. If it's good, people will watch it, even if it's like...
Even if it's a waffle falling over.
Yeah.
I kind of like... As the Hop was pointing out, I'm trying to take a view on this of it being positive in the end very much an expensive learning experience because I know that the people at Polaris that were putting this together really wanted it to be a certain thing.
It could have been great.
It got bastardized really badly. And they're all very sad about it. They're all really depressed about it because they didn't want to ruin those relationships with the devs. They didn't want to ruin the relationship with any of this. And they really wanted it to be successful and fun. And that's what Umatani kept saying on set the whole first day. He was like, I'll feel like this is a success if everyone walks away feeling like they had a great time and they made something cool. Like that's all they wanted. And it got so messed up. And I think that's really sad.
Like it would be a much more heartbreaking story if you were involved with it and had to have to deal with the frustrations of just seeing such a big investment become a wash. But I have to ask, would you guys maybe try to give this another shot in the future sometime, or do you not know yet?
They want to do something along these lines again and be far more firm.
Yeah, definitely.
Like what they want.
Get the damn sponsors out of the picture.
Exactly.
All right, here's the thing about Polaris, right? The shows that people have made through Polaris, they run the gamut in quality. In my opinion, most of the stuff that's done live action outside of the very basic stuff like Daily Bite is not very good. There have been some exceptions to that.
So you have to wonder, do you really need the sponsors?
In theory, no. I mean, it really comes down to money. I mean, it's like they wanted to make this without having to spend a lot of their own money, so they brought sponsors in, which is fine. I mean, hey, I bring in sponsors all the time for my events. I have to, otherwise I'd be sinking so much money into it. But did it really need that much? Did it need to blow up as far as it did? Did it need that level of production? Probably not. In theory, you could do this entire thing with Skype. Like, the whole thing. I was thinking through the logistics of it, and like, yeah, you actually could. It probably wouldn't be very good, but you could certainly do it.
Would people still watch that?
Yeah, because I'm in it. Kidding me?
Oh, I mean, yeah, I guess. But
the point of that is not for me to be a dick, although I just thought I'd get that in there anyway. The point is that it's a personality-driven thing, right? And people will watch personalities anywhere, in any circumstances, in any format, because they like that personality. They're not actually concerned about it being in fucking 4K resolution on an expensive camera with multiple shots.
And they Google the stuff you say. Like when we were talking on the Q&A panel, I was out in the crowd and asked a question and you said Super BunnyHop. People didn't know who I was. They were literally Googling the names you were dropping. And I ended up seeing,
your
I got
reaction
200
to that.
emails.
It was brilliant. It's like, I'm going to pretend to not know who he is, even though I instantly recognize you could have watched one of your videos a couple of days before. It's like, let's see if I can ambush him with this shit. It was fun.
I didn't know you watched it regularly.
Doesn't it?
It makes me feel super duper cool.
Oh my God, just kiss.
Oh, man. Yeah, can I just say this about Aaron Omatami, by the way, who he made Iron Gamer, which was cheesy as fuck in a dodgy studio, and it was fun. Like, it was a fun format. And you've got it. He is not some corporate shill. He is not someone that wants to make reality TV. He is totally fine with doing cheesy shit, and he does it out of a love for video games. And that's the key thing there. Like, we're talking about the difference between people that know what video game culture is and the people that don't, like Mr. Matty Slimeball over here.
If you know what video game culture is, then you know that you don't talk about sexism.
You don't pull a sexist jab out in the middle of a fucking... Right. That is bullshit, and it's bullshit.
What angers me most of all, and I have no, I don't know if this will ever happen, but someone has to take the blame. Because money was thrown around, and now it needs to be blamed. And I doubt, look, if it's this Matty guy, great. But I doubt someone at Polaris Maker is going to get the blame. And I swear to God, if they put it on Aaron, I'm going to lose all my shits. Because that dude Umatami is a straight up baller. Word, yo. And don't mess with him. I will come for you.
Well, I will come
for you.
He is one of my favorite people to work with, for sure.
Yeah, he's great.
But I don't think he's ever been in a situation where he's been kind of ambushed by so much like corporate nonsense before. And you could tell that it kind of just like got carried away from him.
You think it's like a naivety thing to some degree?
I don't know what it was. Maybe. I think that he thought he could still pull it back to what he wanted it to be.
Yeah. And in a way, it was a good idea.
Well, it was a very good idea.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
great
why I was
idea.
interested in getting involved in the first place. It was like, this is the best idea that Polaris has ever had. I am in on this, you know, and eventually kind of got a bad smell about it and decided not to do it. And if I was on that set, holy fuck, I would probably not be on the show today because I would have been fired. Like, I would have gone in on that guy in a serious way. And I'm kind of glad they didn't have to come to that. But
Well, it's good
just
that
so
the developers,
sad, you know?
it makes me feel good that indie developers, people who you would think deep down are like, this is publicity, this can help me, this can do it. When they saw BS, they called out, like, I don't care if this thing dies. That's not who we are. That says a lot about the indie scene in
yes,
general.
yeah.
I was like, these guys are tough as balls. Good.
Well, it makes sense, doesn't it? If they weren't, they wouldn't be making indie games in the first place. You know, they're making indie games because they have a specific vision that they don't want to be compromised in any way. So they made it them fucking selves. It's as simple as that.
And when you try to put product placement and manufactured drama on that crowd, it means that you don't know that crowd.
No, we have plenty of real drama. Thank you very much. We don't need anything to be made up. I'd also like to point out, by the way, this timing sucks because Polaris and Maker just got acquired by Disney. Now this happens, and people assume this is Disney's fault in some way.
It's been a crazy week.
Disney had no involvement in this at all.
Guys, Disney
involvement.
does not affect us at all.
Not
if
yet,
anything,
anyway.
yeah, there's no effect at all. I would suggest going to Pluto, my new channel. It is very, very good. It's our new launch. No effect at all.
Absolutely.
YouTube.com/Jesse Cox.
Pluto. Oh, Jesse Cox.
Jesse Cox.
Oh.
I was about to say, how did
that
you
was
get the name
pretty
Pluto?
Yeah, I just cannot wait for more jumping puzzles. That's
We a bunch of us went to Disneyland yesterday, a bunch of people that came out for the game jam, and right when I put that video up, everybody was like, oh, I see how it is. You guys get Bye-bye Disney, and then you go to Disneyland. Wow. I was like, oh.
You know what's actually really funny? And
Anyway.
I don't necessarily follow his career all that much, but seeing the comments on PewDiePie's videos about Disney might be, look, just guys, I'm just saying, go read those comments. They are
Okay.
the gold of the internet, because people are just like, how dare you? It's like, he has nothing to do with this. Why would you do it? Like, you sell out. Like, wow.
It's just an emotional,
I like how
rather
they're calling him
than
a sellout now.
rather than
You're a bit
rational
fucking
reaction.
late.
It's really good. It's really good. Guys, it is
Anywho,
literally, it has nothing to do with anything. Don't worry about it.
Should we move on to games we've been playing?
We could, but I mean, we'll probably just wrap this up and then take a break because we've been doing this for about an hour. So just for the sake of neatness.
Time flies when you're having fun.
The one thing we should mention is that one of the devs is actually working on something of her own. She goes by the name of Zoe Quinzel. Yep. She is responsible for a title called Depression Quest. And she's working on, I believe they're calling it Rebel Jam, by the looks of it. So I'm interested to see where that goes. I would personally love to try and help out in some way. I know Dodgy, you said the same thing. That you really want to be in on this, and I think that's how a lot of us feel right now. We would love to see something real and positive come out of this, and I ideally hope that ends up happening.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It seems like a beautiful response.
All the devs were amazing, by the way. I loved all of them. They were all very sweet, very nice to meet, and I hope to meet them again at an event or something.
Look, the one travesty of all this is I didn't get to do my judging. I had bits for everything. I was going to call the guy who made Stanley Parable a hack. Oh my God, guys. I literally had everything planned out. It was going to be so good, and you stole it from me. You stole it from me, Mountain Dew!
Camera presence. Gotta work on that camera presence.
Camera presence. Jeez, I know for a fact I have no camera presence. They would have taken one look at me. It's like, nope, the next. Like, doesn't matter about my credentials or my qualifications for the job. No, my camera presence just isn't there.
I got tea all over my face.
That came from that butt? Look, that is the dirtiest. That's some 4chan stuff right there.
Jesus Christ,
it was
guys,
black
why?
tea too, so it looks like
Oh, no.
This is not Disney appropriate.
No, it is not.
No,
I'm
you're
bringing the
gone.
hammer
You're
down to
gone.
this right now. I am Disney's brand new enforcer, bringing down the squeaky hammer and saying,
And
enough.
Did we mention that Disney won't change anything? Quit being Disney inappropriate.
No, absolutely. Disney will not do a damn thing.
We're just planning for
Disney
when they
podcast.
do change something and they have to let people go. We'll have a track record of being Disney appropriate.
Brought to you by official Disney Deep Drilling Oil Corporation.
Yep.
With its delicious family-friendly oil. Just look at that happy oil.
That's how cars
Thanks for
are
watching
powered.
the Co-optional Podcast. We're going to take a break.
We'll be right back with actual gaming content, possibly. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-optional Podcast.
Hello.
Yes, hello.
Hi, everybody.
Let's talk
Did you
about
guys know
video
that
games.
Cinderella's sister is a...
Sisters.
There are a few
It's
of
a
them.
K-drama. Cinderella's sister is a K-drama, though. We were trying to figure... I asked Jesse what Disney character I would be, and he said you would be both of the ugly sisters in Cinderella.
That's
And we
flattering.
couldn't remember their names, and I was trying to find it.
Look, that's fine. I'd be. I know which characters I would be, and they're not any of the good ones. They're
Oh,
like,
Drizella and Anastasia. That's right.
there you go. That's you. I'd be like the mice in Cinderella. That's who I would be. I would be.
Who's all in Cinderella?
Oh my God. TB is the prince, and the Hop is the three. No, how many fairy godmothers are there? 3? You're them.
I thought it was just
Two?
one fairy
There's
godmother.
just one. You're thinking of Sleeping Beauty.
Sleeping Beauty.
Destiny.
Oh,
Or
that's
possibly
right.
Macbeth. Can't be sure which.
Oh wait, hold on.
Macbeth, yeah.
Disney-
Wait, no,
Disney's
Macbeth had witches. I would totally be one of the witches in Macbeth if I had the chance.
Disney's Macbeth.
How would they make
be
that family friendly? I want to know.
with great difficulty.
Out,
It would be
damn
pretty awesome.
Spot. She's just dirty. She's like,
Out damn spot, dog just runs out the door. It's like, good.
See, they have room for double entendres.
Occasionally it happens, but we don't talk about that because we're contractually obliged not to. Let's talk about video games, which
Yes.
conveniently
That's
we're also
the
contractually
thing.
obliged not to talk about. But that's why we did the first hour. All right, so yes, video games. Who
Oh,
has
let's
been
talk
playing
about
what
video
this
games?
week, Mr. Hop? Can you? Maybe you can start us off on this one.
I've
What have you
been playing Goat Simulator
Oh
and
god.
Metal Gear Solid Ground Zeroes.
All right, let's talk about Goat Simulator. This had to
Let's
happen
talk about
eventually.
Goat Simulator. Yes.
All right.
We all love Goat Simulator here, don't we?
I have yet to
Here's-
play it. I've watched
Here's
other
the thing.
people play it.
Goat Simulator, if you play it once, it's a really fun, silly game. There's a lot like stupid going on in it. I sacrificed the developers of the game to Satan to become Goat Satan. I had a really good time playing it.
Spoilers.
But I can understand how eventually it could get boring because it's designed. Look, this game's designed for one purpose: YouTube.
Yeah,
I
the whole
hate to
thing
spoil it
is
for
a
you.
joke.
Oh yeah.
It's for YouTube.
And
It's
it's going to be really interesting writing about that because, like, what other year or point in the history of gaming could a game like that actually
Exist?
be invented? Yeah. Because
And
I
be
mean, even
successful.
like Surgeon Simulator is probably more fun with friends than it would be on YouTube, whereas Goat Simulator would probably be more fun on YouTube than anywhere else. It's just the very deliberate absurdity of it. It's a parody of all the crappy simulators that people love to play and make fun of on YouTube. It's a parody of glitches. It's a parody of patches. They've said they're not going to patch out any glitches.
Yep.
It's
Outside of game crashing ones.
It's a very silly game. But even I recorded an hour, and even I had to take that hour and edit it down because there's a lot of stuff that's like, like you can't like. I guess if your comedic bit is you take things that are mundane and just like, look at this CD disc, look at this CD disc, look at it. Like if that's your thing, then this would be amazing. But I'm just like, I want to see the funny things. I don't want to make the funny things. And so that's like, I can understand how this could easily become one of those, I want to make it a 10-minute episode every day for the next 5 years kind of thing. But I was like, nope. I see where this is going. Time to back away. And it's, God bless it. It's a very solid spoof of a game. I like it. I like the concept. It's a parody. It's satire, which is great.
But it's the kind of thing where the concept of it is actually probably more usable than the actual product.
Yeah.
Like, what if there are going to be more? What if there are going to be more games specifically built for YouTubes? What if this is the age we are living in, where games are built for YouTube celebrities and not the rest of us?
That scares the shit out of me, because it's already happening. Goat Simulator might be the most obvious, but a lot of stuff was built with, like, basically PewDiePie in mind, yeah? Because he played those kind of scary games. A lot of games came out after that, specifically aimed at that demographic, at the Scarecam demographic, because they knew they'd sell some copies that way. And this is the whole, hey, wacky YouTube stuff, PewDieBait, as I've started to call it.
They had him in the trailer. Like, one of the quotes on the trailer was, "I need this game, PewDiePie."
In my life,
and
yeah. Well, I mean, if that isn't kind of
that.
proof of it, no one is, because, PewDiePie's opinion on video games is not kind of relevant to any developer. But when it comes to
Now it is.
But yeah, if you're going to build a game around that kind of idea, and it really has to be as well. It's weird that when I can't remember if you were at the panel that we did at GameVid Expo, where it was games that are more fun to watch than to play.
I missed that one.
Yeah, I'm very surprised Goat Simulator didn't come up in that. I guess we just ran out of time, or no one asked a question about Goat Simulator. But I think Goat Simulator is probably going to be one of those games. You're going to watch your favorite wacky face cammer do some Goat Simulator, and that's probably going to be about it.
But
yes,
here's even like, you can even get on, like, the pewdification of games.
Pewdification.
The pewdification
I
of
want to
games.
write a paper called that.
And you can get on that.
Can we name the PewDiePie fans Pewdiphiles?
No.
Can we do that?
That's not Disney appropriate.
No, you're right.
I have
It's
no
not.
comment
It's not
on this
Disney
subject.
appropriate.
No
No.
comment. Look, PewDiePie, before they started getting on you, I was about to defend you, man. So just keep that in mind when you take over the world. All right, so, no, I was going to say that.
I love Jesse's attitude. It's better to reign in hell than serve in heaven at this point.
Let it burn,
That's when
baby.
you know
Let
you've
it burn.
lost all hope.
No, I think the thing that you have to think about, though, when looking at games like this that are designed with, like, him as a tagline and stuff like that, his fan base and viewership is actually bigger than a lot of those things that you see when it's like,
Absolutely.
Game Informer says this. Like, unfortunately,
hang on a minute. Let me cut you off there and just say it's not bigger than some. It's bigger than fucking all of them. Every last one of them. My viewership is bigger than most of the guys that get quoted. In fact, almost all of them, I would say.
And so,
outside of maybe IGN, pretty much. He's like 10 times the size of me. More than that, even.
That's weird.
But even though we can say, like, oh, that's just, this is a game made for PewDiePie. Oh, look, he's in the damn trailer. I think long term, that might actually not the making games for YouTubers, but the concept of a YouTuber being the voice of, like, oh, this is actually a good game. I think that benefits all of us, because TB's right. A lot of our viewership is much bigger than websites and magazines. Like, unfortunately, magazines, what are those? But
I was going to say magazines.
I miss magazines.
They don't have
magazines.
They don't have the
Magazines were
viewership
so
anymore,
cool.
and so we are sort of like the magazines, and we fill the niches that magazines filled. So, like, Dodgers Cat Fancy, and TB is like PlayStation Monthly, PSM, and I'll be Hustler.
Actually,
How are you like Hustler?
the official Star Trek Starships Collectors Magazine.
There's a niche.
This is what I am. For merely $20 every episode, I get
Print.
a well-modeled starship from the Star Trek series, along with this glossy magazine. And if I order 10, I get a giant Borg cube. By the way,
I can't believe they say that print is dead when that exists.
Right?
I subscribed to this the moment I heard about it. I'm sorry. That is the kind of person I am, and I will fucking defend it to the death. But yes, anyway.
But that exists now in online YouTube form. There's a guy out there
complaining
who's
it's
like,
mirrored. It's the mirror universe, guys.
And in a weird way,
that was a Trek
that's why
joke.
TB has a goatee. He's the evil one.
Indeed. I love that's the best way they did it. They made the uniform slightly fancier and low cut and added a mustache.
Added a mustache and always black. That's
in
the
a
way
way,
they did it.
it's kind of interesting how, like, us as YouTubers still feed into the game industry. Like, you can make fun of PewDiePie all you want and
I will.
whatnot, but it's not hard to do.
No,
but
it is
he's
kind of
still
low-hanging fruit, isn't it?
actually done a lot to help out struggling indie developers with their silly, cheap games that otherwise would not have that kind of exposure. The thing is, his audience is not I guess a lot of the people, it's, I don't know, like, we're not the target demographic, are we?
No.
It's just kind of the situation where this stuff is very clearly not made for me, and I can't really get into it, but I still see the benefits of it. But what happens when an established developer like Coffee Stain Studios, who were making a bunch of tower defense games before this, end up getting in on it as opposed to little struggling indie developers?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call Coffee Stain necessarily like super established.
Well, not super established,
they made
but
Sanctum.
Yeah, and Sanctum
2,
sold okay, right?
I mean, it did, and funnily enough, they got helped out a lot by
the Yogscast, yeah,
and me as well, actually, a bit, because when I think it was I did a video with Too Good, who was like an esports personality, but was also in the same office building as Coffee Stain, and we all did a video on that. And then when it came out, Yogscast did their involvement in it. We've done the same thing for stuff like Awesome Notes. I've done a lot of promo stuff for indie games, and I think that one of the best things about a channel as large as PewDiePie is that he, for the most part, does a lot of indie stuff. And I actually respect that a lot. I think that he could have gone down a very easy route when it comes down to just grabbing every AAA game ever and just going for it. He still does quite a bit of that, but he produces enough content that he covers a lot of indie. And those indie games definitely benefit from that.
Yeah.
Even though his demographic, the problem is his demographic is so young that they often don't have disposable income. That's the real problem with it. I mean, you could argue that a channel that has an older demographic has more disposable income, is more likely to actually buy.
But how would a channel get that big unless it appealed to the people who have the time to watch?
That is a fair point. There's no doubt about that. And we should also point out that
my channel caters to people with jobs. Good. I've always
that's
said
not
that.
a bad thing.
Keep up the good work.
Here's the weird thing, here's a counter argument almost to myself. Like, are they really building a game aimed at YouTubers and, like, basically PewDiePie fans? Or is that demographic now so large that you have to just call it, well, they're making a game for gamers? Because if we see the response that Goat Simulator got, the hype level is very high. And not just on an ironic level either. People are like, holy shit, this is going to be really, really fun. Yeah, I mean, it's not just a little bit of irony. It's people are really enthused by it. Yes, actually, I think there is a market for it. It will probably sell very, very well, I would imagine. I don't know if there's a market for that continued, but you got to bear in mind it was also marketed very smartly. The lovely little parody trailer that was just a riff on the Dead Island trailer.
That was great.
It's great marketing. The marketing is hilarious, but on one level, I think after actually having played through it, I think I've played through it at this point. I don't know if it's going to be selling well because it's a good game, but rather because of hilarious marketing.
Probably.
Hilarious marketing.
My understanding is that it's not a very good game, at least not for very long. And I've got the game, and I'll probably either play it tonight or tomorrow and see what's going on with it. But I have a feeling it will get very boring very quickly once the novelty wears off. And it is the kind of thing that you would expect out of a free indie title. And I have to wonder if there's even enough content to justify it.
It's $10, and I have not. I don't think I've exhausted all the content in it, but I did go through the very first checklist of quests that you get, and that took me like 110 minutes, not very long at all for
less than
$10.
Right.
And
did you get sidetracked, or were you just
That's so
laser
specific.
Focused?
It took me about 110 minutes.
Well, yeah, because the Steam
the
Steam counter was oddly specific last night when I finished up, so I appreciated that. But I don't know. I'm just kind of sad if people end up distrusting a game like that because of a lack of content that ends up kind of having fun with metagaming concepts in a really sarcastic way. Like, I kind of wouldn't mind seeing more games built completely sarcastically.
How would you compare it to something like Stanley Parable? Because that's also a game that does that very same thing. Is that more of a game, less of a game, more viable as a game?
Oh
more
boy, here we go.
Artistic merits?
I don't know. I don't know if I want to touch this one. Is Stanley Parable less of a game?
I think this is when we get into that broad definition of what a game is, and we have that argument about how you define a game.
But no, we don't. I'm just going to shut that down immediately and just say they're obviously both games because they both have objectives and both have failure states. Simple as that. Yeah. That's all you need. They're video games.
I think that they're both supposed to be humorous games with two different types of humor. One is wacky slapstick humor, and one is sort of a cerebral humor of like, we're gonna parody game. Like, they're both parodying games, but one is doing it like, look at our crazy glitches and look at you're a goat, and the other is, we're gonna tell you jokes and you decide how the jokes play out. And your decisions, we're mocking your decisions because you're just a gamer and you think you want something, but you don't know what you want. Like that kind of thing. And I think both the games have their merits, and they're both very, very creative in that comedy aspect, but they're also both games where I don't see anyone being like, all right, this is episode 85 of Stanley Parable, right? Like, eventually it's going to peter out. The reason why games like
I wonder how many episodes someone's done of a Let's Play of that. I'm gonna find that out while you talk.
Oh my god, find out.
Yeah.
Here's something that I did realize though. In Goat Simulator, and this is what will keep it going. I was about to say the reason why a game, oh my god, what is that called with the wheelchair thing? The
Happy Wheels.
Happy Wheels, yeah. The reason why that's still going on many channels is because of mods people make. And I was going to say that's how we'd be able to find about Goat Simulator. Goat Simulator has mod creation, so you can create things in Goat Simulator, and that's what will keep that going. It won't be the initial game. It'll be everything you can add to it. And I can see that taking it to like, welcome to Goat Simulator episode 100. And today we're going to fly on a jetpack and kill other goats. Like, all right, I can see that happening.
All right, I can tell you the longest Stanley Parable Let's Play that I can find is 11 episodes long.
That's not a lot of episodes.
That's not too bad. Considering we found the Skyrim one that went up to 1,000, I think that's pretty good.
Yeah.
So, 12 episodes. 12. I found a 12 episode one.
Whoa.
The Challenger appears.
Getting big.
Indeed.
So I guess the joke for the Stanley Parable didn't last long on this crowd, and now the next challenge is seeing how long the joke for Goat Simulator lasts. Because, I mean, are people still making Happy Wheels videos? Are the kids still into that?
Yeah, yep.
Yeah,
Toby
still way into Happy Wheels.
Toby Turner, man, he's still making a fortune off of Happy Wheels videos.
I'm checking.
That's his bread and butter.
Is he still?
Happy Wheels?
He is.
Mindflame
He's
still
still
makes them
making
too,
it.
doesn't he?
He's still making it.
There's a lot of people still make Happy Wheels videos.
How many videos has he made on Happy Wheels?
You think there might be more room to make long-lasting content out of Happy Wheels because there's a more diverse selection of things to make jokes about?
Here's the thing:
I think
when you get
Sorry,
well, that's what I'm saying. When you get the mods involved, with Goat Simulator, that's up to. It's same thing with Minecraft. The reason why Minecraft's successful is because it's not limited by what the original creators made.
Yes, absolutely.
It's the minds of everyone involved. So
that's what I was curious about with Goat Simulator, is whether or not kind of a modding community will arise for it.
It would be wacky, but in Happy Wheels,
Super Ballerina Goat Simulator.
You get to play as like 4 different crazy people on some kind of wheeled, I don't want to call them vehicles, contraptions. Whereas in Goat Simulator, it might be a bit more limited because you're simulating a goat no matter how you play. So
mods, make goats that look like us.
No.
So that would be pretty creepy.
Co-optional podcast goats.
No.
Go.
No.
Oh,
no,
God.
here's the deal, guys. Don't make it look like us. Just put our heads on goats.
Go. Yeah.
Put our heads on goats.
Like
I can't even
balloons.
tell what's
Make it
worse.
Look like the goat neck turns into a balloon face. That's our
Here's the thing.
Worse and worse
Here's the
by
thing.
the
You can
minute.
just put a balloon on the goat because the head physics is like this in the game.
Yeah, exactly.
So just
That's
make
hilarious.
it us. Just make it us. TB goat.
You okay, TV?
Go TB. That's his name. Go TB.
All right.
Go to.
What I would say about this whole thing, though, despite the fact that you're trying to derail it, I'm not going to let you. Absolutely not. You can put your goat back in your pants. Thank you very much.
Ew.
Never.
Just put it back in there. That's where it belongs.
Put it back.
What I would say is, I think if it's just indie companies making this kind of stuff, whatever. Like, I don't know if it will become a trend. It probably won't. And even if it did, there are enough indie games coming out on a goddamn daily basis that we are not going to be short of something because they decided to make something else. Am I disappointed that Sanctum 3 is not a thing because Goat Simulator is? No, I'm happy because Goat Simulator is going to sell a bazillion goddamn copies based on its hype and fund Coffee Stain's next 3 titles. And then they can make what they want to make. Although they probably wanted to make Goat Simulator, to be fair.
There's one of those things where it's sort of, this is the first real big fake simulator game on the market, And it's kind of like down the line.
They stole my fucking joke, is what they did. They stole my joke. I've been doing this for years, this whole fake simulated thing. Along they come and nick it.
It's not a new joke. There have also been a bunch of freeware games called things like Sitting Simulator and Tree Simulator. But there's a channel actually that reviews these called Stan Birdman. I think he's funny. Check him out, Stan Birdman. But he goes through simulators of everything. So it's just kind of different to see a studio with more resources than those indie freeware people making it for the joke of it, making something like that for the money for it.
Yes, yeah. That's I think where the difference lies.
Yeah, and it's not bad. It's just different. I mean, we'll see. I guess it's the slippery slope that it could lead to is very hypothetical.
Well, the slippery slope. What will happen is if people jump on the bandwagon of making shitty things for the point of it being shitty and funny, eventually
that's hypothetical.
People
burn out on that pretty fast. I think.
Eventually they won't make any money and it will stop.
Yeah,
so
if it does happen, hopefully it will.
Yeah, because as you said, it's already been done. It's like fucking EnviroBear. That is not a fun game. It never will be. And it was made for a joke. And like you said, they have been doing this for a while. So I don't anticipate there being a huge surge of this stuff. I kind of hope that there isn't. I don't think that it is going to start anything per se. But as long as you're making your game because you kind of believe in the fun value of it and you're not making it to appeal to some ridiculous, like, imagined demographic, of very kind of hyper-specific, like, I want to get my game on the YouTube, then as long as you
I do.
Yeah, as long as
the best way to do that is to make a good game. Make a good game. That will do it.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
You know?
But also, like, I would also say there are definitely certain types of games that I would still say are good, but are not interesting to watch.
Yes, there's plenty of them.
Mm-hmm. So you can't just say, like, if you make a good game, it'll do good on YouTube, because that's not necessarily
No, it won't. But
how many people do Let's Plays of Dwarf Fortress, you know?
Hey, well, unfortunately not Dwarf Fortress, but not good ones anyway. I would love to see a good Let's Play of Dwarf Fortress, because I, for the life of me, can't figure that game out. I would love to watch that. I know Something Awful had a kind of a relay race with that they were passing it around, and it's been going on for years over there. But I would love to see a well-presented Dwarf Fortress LP, because you can make almost anything happen in that game, and that can result in fantastic things going on. There have been some good Let's Plays of Crusader Kings, which by all rights there shouldn't be, because, you know, visually that's a very dull game, but if you are the right person and you can present that content in the right way, you can make an incredible Let's Play.
You're giving me ideas.
Hey, by all means.
Yeah.
I think that in particular, stuff like that, Aquil 18 is a great example of someone that does a lot of fairly cerebral games and presents them in a very interesting way. What was his name? Bugle something. Or was it Beagle? Beagle Rush, not Bugle Rush. Beagle Rush did an incredible Let's Play of XCOM, which in theory should not be an interesting game to watch at all, but he did it very, very well. I know Northern Lion does some stuff involving grand strategy, as well as roguelikes. There is a lot of possibility when it comes to making that viewable, but the thing about Goat Simulator is it's kind of lowest common denominator. All you need to do to make that viewable to the younger demographic is just scream over it and go, hey, hey, hey! You know, be the
It's totally shameless. They know what they're doing.
Absolutely
yeah.
Shameless. There's no doubt about that.
I tried to find some of the, like, space building simulators that I own. I was like, no one would ever watch that on YouTube.
Oh, what? What? Stuff like Space Engineers? They fucking well would. Are you kidding me?
No, like Sins of the Solar Empire, things like that.
Oh, no.
No one would watch that.
No, that's not a space simulator. That's a 4X.
That's a 4X.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Come on.
Fuck you. I've got a second critic on the show. This is going to be great. We can beat up on Jesse all the time. It's going to be fantastic.
Yeah.
Jesse, get your genres in order, motherfucker.
A 4X is not a space builder. Gosh.
Fucking hell, man.
Sorry, guys.
Worst YouTuber ever.
You know, I actually think with the right number of people, 4Xs can be fantastic Let's Plays, because you can create your own story. Civilization, executed very well with the right amount of editing, could be incredible, because you are changing history, and you are backstabbing the other people, you're going behind their back. Hey, you want something that's a fucking reality show? You get 8 Let's Players playing Civ 5, then do your cutaways, then do your fucking drama, Matty. Now that would be an interesting show. Holy fucking shit, Gandhi's nuking me again. What a deceitful bitch.
One of the most interesting things about that game is the hot seat mode that no one knows about. You can like play it in a living room with other people, record it around a nice microphone, like do it right and make a great video out of it. The features are right there, but no one... And it's fun as hell to play Civ in hot seat mode, as long as your friends don't take forever to
Yogscast's been doing it, apparently. I'm going to admit
there should be more, because it sounds like great fodder for viewing.
I just want to point out that I didn't realize that TB said Gandhi. I thought he said Candy. I was like, who the fuck is Candy? I was like, what is he talking about?
The joke was just lost on Jesse.
Oh, Gandhi, because he's nuking. I get it now. Before I was like,
candies don't nuke people, Gandhis do.
Yeah, come on.
This podcast is no longer available due to a trademark claim by King.com.
Yep. I wonder if I still have my lanyard from GDC.
Saga.
Yeah, Candy was crushing that.
Jeez, this entire podcast has just been a saga.
A saga of crushing.
Indeed, so lengthy. Man, I need some. You know what I need? I need some. I need some candy. I need some candy
Crush it with
to get
your
my.
teeth.
I got my energy levels. I'm gonna crush something here.
So what would you say the genre is of a game like Banished? Is that a simulator? Is that a town builder? It's just a city builder, right? There's no other term for it.
So that's a city builder, but I can't say a space builder and I get shit
No!
Because you don't build
together.
space in 4X, you... Wait,
Although I would quantify it by saying it's actually more of a 4X light, because it has too much combat focus to be a real 4X, in my opinion.
Okay.
I can't.
Not a real 4X.
I can't win this. I can't. You're building in space. It's a space builder.
You're not
That's
building
what it
space, though. You're building things in space.
Indeed.
Wait, what are the
Fine.
4X's of a 4X game? There's exploration,
Exploit,
Space-
expand, explore, exterminate. Not in that order.
That could be any. That could be any game.
No.
It literally could be any
No, it's
game.
actually hyper-specific. Very specifically.
Exploit. I'm exploiting this game. Expand. I've expanded my knowledge of exploiting this game. The other X's, I don't remember what they are. Doesn't matter. This is.
What exploration do you
Explore is one of them.
Oh,
Welcome to
explore, that's not
Jesse's
even
Game Critique Hour.
That's not even that's like reading, writing, arithmetic. The 3 R's. That's not an X. Explore, unless it's extreme. In which case, brought to you by Mountain Dew.
You realize that exploit also doesn't start with an X.
No, I realize that. I just want to point out.
So is it...
In fact, none of those actually do start with an X.
Start with an X,
No.
which makes me so worried.
A lot of the words actually don't, now that I think about it.
None of them do.
No.
It's because 4X is supposed to be a phonetic. Because everything starts with X, EX.
Well, yeah, but it's fun to make observational humor.
I'm like the Jerry Seinfeld of this podcast.
And we are
I
driving
mean, what's
nuts.
the deal? We have an Elaine, we have a Kramer, and we have a George. This is it. We're the Seinfeld.
God, that's right. I'm George. Oh.
Wait, what?
The little
TV's Kramer.
stocky
It makes
ball.
perfect sense. Makes perfect sense.
Oh, man.
Yep.
So, yes, I think that was Goat Simulator. Can
you
we
go.
talk about Age of Wonders 3?
Okay.
What?
That's pretty great.
Oh, that came out yesterday, didn't it?
It did.
Is it good?
Well, I've sunk about 5 hours into it so far, and
I gotta look it up.
And if I could get away with it, I would be playing more of it while listening to you idiots. It
Really?
is kind
Love
of
that.
great so far. I didn't want to do my video on it quite yet because the campaign missions are quite long. So I wanted to really at least maybe either beat one of the campaigns or get a good amount in because I want to experience all the races. I want to figure out some of the UI things because there's little bits of it. I'm like, there must be a way to automate that. There must be a way to not have to do that myself. Like garrisoning units, for instance. You know, in something like Civ, you can just kind of fortify a unit and it'll just sit there with its fucking spears like, come on. But you can't seem to do that in Age of Wonders. So for those who don't know, Age of Wonders is a 4X, funnly enough. Yes,
Is it a real 4X or a light 4X?
It's a legit 4X. It is a turn-based 4X fantasy strategy game in which you play I wouldn't even say you play a wizard, but you have magical abilities. You play various different classes and various different fantasy races. You can build towns in the way that you could in Civilization. You can do a lot of research. A lot of that research leads you to spells, which you can either cast in combat or globally. So currently I'm playing a race that has kind of an affinity with animals, but they're also dragons, because fuck you. And you can summon various different levels of beast to the battlefield. And I summoned, like, it was sort of like a diabolical beast. And it kind of randoms it. And it gave me something called a shock snake, which is this gigantic fucking electric snake that is like 20 foot tall and murders the shit out of people. And so I've been kind of rolling around with my band of dragon guys, and there's diplomacy in the game. So I declared war on this goblin who was someone the pretty, and I fought her for a bit. There's an underground area that you can go in, which, if this sounds a lot like Heroes of Might and Magic, it kind of should, because the original Age of Wonders was sort of coming around the same time, almost in parallel to Heroes of Might and Magic. So this plays an awful lot like that, but it's got a good amount of civilization elements in there. So if you're used to the hex-based thing that Civ 5 does, you'll find that. If you're used to the way that Civ 5 does its city building, you'll find that. You get settlers, you go and build a city. Although in this case, the resources you're looking for are like magical resources. So you want something that can produce magic crystals which power your various spells. You can have global spells that all have like a cumulative effect and things like that. And the combat isn't done the way Civ 5 is. It's done the way Heroes of Might and Magic is, as in it's a tactical grid. So when you encounter another army, you go into a tactical grid and you fight. And it's got, actually, in my opinion, a little bit more strategy to it than HOM, in the sense that it's got things like flanking attacks, which is really cool. So you can kind of get behind them and attack. If you go in from a certain distance with cavalry units, you get a charge bonus. Depending on how far you move, depends on how many times you can attack. So if you stand stationary and you're next to a unit you attack, you get 3 attacks. And if you move a bit, you get 2. If you move a bit more, you get 1. So you have to manage sort of like a simplified action point system in order to get optimal. Oh, did they? Oh, interesting. Apparently they put a Total Biscuit character in War for the Overworld. Huh, cool.
What?
Anyway, sorry.
This sounds pretty damn
sellout.
cool.
Total sellout.
No, I'm even with the selling out.
This is actually incredible. They did a whole video on it. Holy fuck. This is their April Fools. They apparently picked me as the April Fool. Wonderful. I'll try and show
you
this
are
at
an
some
April
point.
Fool's joke.
I am indeed the April Fool. But you explore this really wonderful world, which obviously kind of, the campaigns aren't randomly generated, but you can randomly generate a map just like you could in Civ or in Heroes. You upgrade your towns to construct different units. There's different tiers of units. Units have veterancy, so they gain extra abilities the further they go in. You've got hero units that can cast spells.
Can I ask you a question? One of the things that, maybe this is just how it sounds, one of the things I'm curious about is time for battle, like tactical battle time versus rest of the game. What is the percentage of that? Because one of the things that always pisses me off, and I usually end up doing skip battle if I think I'm just going to win.
Yeah, there's auto-resolve in this.
All right, cool. Because that's one of the things that drives me crazy. And that's why I like Civ 5, because it's literally like, it's 1v1, and they just go at it over
it's
like
really
a sec.
quick.
Yeah.
That's actually,
that
I think,
always made it really nice.
I guess one of the advantages that Civ has, but simultaneously it makes the combat a lot duller. And there's a larger focus on combat and city management this time around. You've still got cities, you still have to manage like global morale, which can even be affected by terrain. So like certain races don't like certain climates, so you've got to be careful about that. There's a morality system in the game, so you can take decisions like, yeah, I'm going to move out I just captured the city, I'm going to move out all the original inhabitants and move in my own people and like force a bunch of refugees out, so you gain morality penalties for that. And things like, and that affects your relationship with various races and stuff like that. It's definitely less economic focused than something like Civ would be. Definitely more combat focused. The auto skip is pretty reliable though. It'll tell you, it's like, yeah, you have a very likely chance of winning. You can even say, oh, do you want to use spells in the battle or not? If you use spells, you're draining kind of from your global mana pool. But if you don't use spells, you've got like less of a chance of winning for obvious reasons. And you can even use spells from heroes that aren't in the fight, because a lot of them are global. And the combat's very satisfying. Like, it's very tactical. Your units can die very quickly, but so can the enemies, so it's not really all that bullet spongy. They do a lot of really nice ranged simulation. Like, line of sight is simulated. Whether or not your shot is a straight shot or an arcing shot is simulated. Distance, resistance to various elemental types. That's all in there as well. What I really love about it is the equipment system. Really detailed equipment system. Each hero can kind of have there's a mount slot. So I had one of my guys riding a unicorn that could teleport through walls. Another one got this big fucking dragon and they have like 7 or 8 abilities on these items as well. Like they're just like, hey, yeah, you can do this and this and this and this and this because you got this piece of equipment. It's not just like +2 to hit. It's like, here's a bunch of shit. And it's really satisfying to get a piece of gear as a result.
Have you taken a look at your abilities for the Cynical Imp?
I have not looked at it yet.
Oh God!
The Cynical Imp, his abilities are FOV slider active. The Cynical Imp can use his monocle to adjust his field of view, allowing him to mine blocks at a great distance. There's no requests, that's a passive. The Cynical Imp knows better than you do. As such, he will ignore any and all commands you give and mine whatever blocks he wishes. And then there's Copyright Strike passive. Any unit that dares attack or insult the Cynical Imp is immediately removed from the game. Sorry about that. That's incredible. That's incredible.
I'm downloading this right now so I can show it on the show because, as you might have noticed earlier, my overlay is I usually have an overlay set up because we're using this Disney-themed April Fool's thing. It wrecked my overlay for video display. Like, Disney, you sabotaged me creatively again. How many times in my life has that happened? But I will definitely show that.
That is legitimately one of the best. Mwah. Good job, team. You pulled it off. That was great.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to show that hopefully in about 10 seconds once this downloads. But yeah, Age of Wonders so far really fucking good, which is great because I was afraid we'd go down the Disciples route or the Patrician route where it's like, oh yeah, do you remember how great those games were? Yeah, let's make another one. Oh, we fucked it up completely. No.
What? Would you recommend getting... Look, I'm about to buy this thing. Would you recommend getting the deluxe or the normal version?
The soundtrack is by one of the composers from Deus Ex. Not Alexander Brandon, the other guy. The music is fucking good. Like, it's got this kind of awe-inspiring sort of almost Wanderlusty feel to it, where it's like, I am in a fucking fantasy world, and the music is really pushing that on me, and it sounds awesome. I'm actually probably going to upgrade to Deluxe just so I can get that soundtrack to add to my collection, because it's really, really good.
This sounds like 5 or 6 up my alley.
Yeah, I think it would be, honestly. It's got multiplayer as well. I don't know how well that would work considering the battles. I'm really interested, because those battles could potentially drag on. Like, the way that older games sorted that out was they forced auto-resolve, but I think that would absolutely ruin the game. So I'm very curious to see how that would work out.
Like, I really like how many of those really hardcore, super detailed, turn-based tactical games are coming out these days.
It's great.
Like at GDC, I actually saw a behind closed doors preview of Mordheim, which was weird because I couldn't film in there, so I couldn't really make
Did you say Mordheim as in the Warhammer Fantasy?
Yeah,
They're doing a Mordheim game.
They're turning
Holy
Mordheim
shit.
into a video game,
That's
and it
so
looks
cool.
pretty. It looks kind of decent.
Why the hell are they not doing it with Necromunda? What the hell?
It looks pretty kind of decent.
Yeah, no, I don't believe in hype or whatever, so I don't want to get people like hyped up out of it because I want my fans to be responsible consumers who will wait for the reviews after day one to buy it.
This is
but
why
Mordheim looks kind of decent, okay. They just converted the really complicated like permadeath, perma-injury rules of the board game straight into the video game, but added video gamey features like field of view and then a bunch of new rules to account for that. And I gotta say, like, I like that stuff like that's coming out, and Age of Wonders sounds exactly like right up that alley. Are we going through a turn-based tactical phase nowadays?
I think so. I mean, I think Civ 5 and most notably its expansions really helped an awful lot there. Even something like Warlock, which I definitely wouldn't say that Warlock is a better game than Age of Wonders. I don't think so. Warlock is basically a fantasy skin for Civilization 5. It's a good one, and I like it, and I'm interested to see what the Exiled is like, and if they've really diverged the mechanics away from what is otherwise kind of a Civilization clone with lesser diplomacy mechanics. But I think that Age of Wonders in particular, and games like that, and we should, by the way, actually thank Notch for investing in Triumph for this, because it seems like they really did a good job with this. He obviously picked well there. These games are definitely gaining popularity. Yesterday, it was the top-selling game on Steam.
That is a good thing.
It is.
That is a damn good thing.
It's not that hard to get into. I think the tutorial needs work, but they have something called the Book of Wonders, which is like the Civipedia, but they've got a really good thing where any related concept will be down the bottom. So you kind of dive into it. It's like, oh, okay, that's related to that. Let's click on that. So you go to units, and it's talking about how garrison works. Then you click on garrison, that talks about how defensive bonuses work. So navigating around that, like learning the game mechanics and concepts, are very easy. So I am really happy so far with Age of Wonders 3. It is really good so far. I'm hoping it continues that way. I'm being told, by the way, that the imp is in the game. That's a legit thing that is in it. Should we show the trailer? I have the trailer ready.
Go for it.
Shoot.
Are we going to get copyrights?
We better not, otherwise I am demanding my Kickstarter money back. Okay, we're going to go live with this. Here we go. Here is the trailer for the Cynical Imp, which is now apparently in the War for the Overworld beta.
We are pleased to announce a new worker type that will be patched into the game in the near future. The Cynical Imp is one of the more powerful workers in the game. He uses a series of interesting abilities. Field of View Slider. The Cynical Imp can use his monocle to improve his field of view, allowing him to mine most blocks at great distance. No requests. The Cynical Imp knows better than you do. As such, he will ignore any and all commands you may give, and mine whatever blocks he wishes. Copyright strike. Any unit that attacks or insults the Cynical Imp is killed and then removed permanently from the game. Sorry about that. Best of all, the Cynical Imp doesn't cost any mana or gold to summon. Simply top off your Steam wallet before loading the game and summon him as many times as you wish. A flock of Cynical Imps can be summoned for the low, low price of $99.99. What a savings.
And they even got the wonderful reference in at the end to Galaxy Quest. Love it. That's quite the thing.
Dear.
Is that hilarious marketing?
Yeah, it is indeed. Although this game might actually be a video game as opposed to Goat Simulator, which is just kind of mostly hilarious marketing.
Okay.
It was really sad because for almost that entire thing, Twitch showed ads for me.
Oh, wow.
Like the second you started the video, it was like, nah.
But Dodger, you can subscribe to my channel for the low price of $4.99 per month, which would allow you to skip all of the ads on my channel. Why would you not do that, Dodger? Why wouldn't you support the show? It's even a show you're on and you don't support it. Basically, you're working to destroy us from within. Isn't that true? Admit it!
So everyone should support me because I'm on it. I'm trying to flex and point at myself at the same time when I realize it's like not very effective.
You failed both of those things.
It just looked like a really weird dance thing.
You know how they have those electroshock muscle contractor things? It looked like those were attached to you, and you were trying to signal for help, but you kept like flinching.
Oh man. When I made my video about the VR devices at GDC, one commenter suggested that as opposed to the omnidirectional treadmills and the full body motion capture suits, they should invent a device that measures muscle contractions. So you sit in your chair to simulate movement and just flex your legs to make your I love my comments, but they have some crazy ideas sometimes.
Can I ask you, did you experience the horrifying shark simulator?
Yeah. Oh, it was
Screw that
cool.
Game.
I liked it.
Get out of here.
Cool.
I hope you get eaten.
It was
by a
really
shark.
neat. I hope I don't, but wait, why would you hope that I get eaten by a shark if I'm not afraid of the fake video game shark?
To teach you a lesson. To teach you a lesson that
to be afraid of fake video game sharks. Well,
all sharks.
I'm not afraid of fake video game sharks.
They're godless killing machines, and I want to let you know.
You are correct, but at this point in my life, I can really only bring myself to be afraid of like car accidents and high cholesterol.
Here's the thing:
being eaten by a shark.
Those two things. That's it.
When you get rear-ended by a shark in a car and die of a heart attack, you're gonna be real sorry about what you just said.
I am. So that's not gonna happen.
Who let that shark drive?
Okay,
I've
so
noticed the older that I get. Sorry, this is kind of on topic. I've noticed the older that I get, I have more nightmares about car accidents than everything else.
Yeah, because that's like the most likely thing to happen. Which is a
I
horror.
have nightmares about car accidents all the time.
Blog, but
I'm exactly the opposite of that because
because
I survived one with just a scratch after flipping the car 3 times. So I'm like, oh, that's it. Fuck. Easy. Which, to be fair, is a terrible way of looking at it, but
car crash.
It's better than being eternally afraid of it.
I've been in, well, I was in an accident that turned into years of my life being called about lawsuits, so I'm terrified of car accidents.
That's totally
There's a lot more that could go wrong than actual physical bodily damage.
Yeah.
So, Jesse, did you get to play with the Morpheus?
Yes. Can I ask you what you thought of, that compared to the Oculus? Because I'll be honest, visually, I have to have these on. So, but anyway, visually, I didn't notice that much of a difference, and I kind of liked Sony's lighter weight. I don't know. I mean,
they both have their pros and cons, I think. On the Oculus, actually, one thing that I noticed and could not unnotice when someone else pointed out to me afterwards was you can actually see a little bit of a grid for the pixels outside of your eye. The clarity of the image was pretty good. It was a lot better than last year's model, but on the Morpheus, there wasn't that grid there. There was, instead, the con is a little bit of motion blur, which, honestly, I think I could deal with. I could deal with the grid. I think, really, both devices are almost the same thing. Right. They just have some very minor pros and cons to each specific one, except the Morpheus has the advantage of having these silly console-specific motion controls packaged with it, which it's really hard to say at this point because motion controls have been fairly gimmicky and the market hasn't really adopted that well to them, but it might be an advantage for them in the long term if it catches on in a radical new way, which it might.
I would say the Oculus has the advantage of working on a
computer.
A superior platform, I think.
Don't get me wrong. I'm totally with you there. And there are all sorts of weird things that people are going to be able to do with it that they can't do on a console machine. But
you mean porn is what you're saying.
Display in 1080p, 60 FPS, like that.
No, you're saying porn. When he says weird things, he means porn. He means pornography. He means that is going to be the next big business. And if you want to make $1 million overnight,
yeah,
that's how you do it.
The reason why VHS beat Betamax is because porn. The reason why new technological formats get adapted is because this is not Disney appropriate at all.
Here's the thing, though. Disney knows this, which is why they're okay with Rule 34, or else they would have shut it down. They know.
I don't think you can. I mean, it's the internet.
Archie, whoever makes Archie comics. I think their company is just called Archie Comics. They are like super intense about that with specifically the Archie characters because they're like, no, our characters are kid friendly. They don't have blowjays.
Yet how many kids actually read Archer? Or Archie, sorry.
Archie.
Yes, Archer's very kid friendly.
but
there are definitely
that's
blowjays in Archer.
I don't want to spoil it for you, but that's legitimate. The Hop's right, man. That's legitimate truth. Technology is pushed by porn. Right. I hate to bring it into the real world, but it's totally true. And that's what's going to happen with the Oculus Rift. That's the first thing that's going to happen. Is someone's going to be like, well...
It's already happened. There's already that kind of freeware waifu bullshit.
Google Glass, too, right?
Oh yeah, that burrito guy shot a porn on it. Why do I know that?
Wait, what?
That I cannot. I do not think that is.
He's the male porn star that all the girls like for some reason. Oh god,
the burrito guy.
Yeah, he does the blog about burritos. Oh my god,
you're probably much better strapping a GoPro to your forehead. Frankly, you'll get better quality out of it.
I'm not gonna. I feel like there are much better ways to do that
yes,
than going with Google Glass.
I think you're probably right.
But now he's the first
guy
to
interesting times.
So now he did it. Like if there's some new way of doing it, it'll be done. Mm-hmm. Thanks to the porn industry. Born and bred here in California. We love it.
It will be done, and it will be done.
Yeah, and that's maybe that's why Oculus Rift will win. Is because Sony's cannot provide you with quality porn. Oh my god, that might actually happen. Oh my god.
Yeah, it could.
Oh, yeah. Speaking of which, one other thing that they were trying at GDC, they're experimenting with VR movies, which are filmed in I think the way they get around it is they film it with a panoramic camera. You put on the headset and you can look around the scene. The studio that did Game of Thrones made a few. They've been demoing it at South by, I almost said XSFW, South by Southwest. And I didn't get to see it myself, but a friend of mine got to play with a demo for VR movies at GDC. And that sounds really weird and really gimmicky and hilarious. It's something that in the future, if the gimmick doesn't catch on, will look like some really hilarious quirk of the times we live in. VR movies.
Potentially like completely murdering the cinema industry. That is feasible. That is a feasible thing. Although I'd imagine the cinema industry would probably try and adapt it first before anything.
One step closer to a holodeck. All I want before I die is to go on an adventure with number one, Commander Riker, and pick up chicks. Pick up chicks with Commander Riker in a holodeck. That's all I want in my life. Then I can just die because there's nothing else I need. There was one company at GDC that got weirdly close to doing a holodeck. The way it works is that the VR headset they have has these sensors on it that they track the distance and the dimensions of the room that you're in and display some kind of different 3D fantasy room inside of your headset when you look around at it. So you essentially put the goggles on and you see some kind of different environment. It's called the Sulon Cortex. No one's talking about it. I honestly can't say I have the most confidence in this company, but the thing they are making is insanely cool. And it was like the closest.
You'd need like an empty room, right?
And they had
you wouldn't just walk into stuff.
They had an empty room ready.
I would empty out a room for that.
But
all of us can.
The technology needs to
cram it all into one room.
What?
Cram it all into one room.
Technology needs to grow to the point where the headset can convince you that you're touching and interacting with objects. Like you still need that.
Well, that's
for a
physically
holodeck.
impossible. Like you need to be wearing gloves that have like really good haptic feedback or something like that. You basically have to be on a treadmill as well. You know,
chips in your brain. Let's just skip all this. Put electronics on our brains already. We know we're going there eventually. So
maybe that's like the classic realization of, or a depiction of VR. I remember when I was a kid, the New Adventures of Johnny Quest was really cool for some reason.
Johnny Quest.
And they did that. You put on a headset and your brain thought you were in this really awful 90s CGI world. It was hilarious.
I want that 90s CGI world where you go on the internet and it's all buildings and the roads are paved with like moving lights.
Reboot, basically.
Oh my god, Reboot would be amazing. That'd be fantastic.
That would be great.
The future is kind of here. You just need to travel across the country and go to their very specific empty blank white room and experience it.
Look, we just need to test it. Put some chips into kids' brains, see if it kills them or not. If it doesn't, we're good. Let's go. I'm tired of waiting. Eventually, I'm gonna die, internet. I don't got time for this shit. Keep going. Give me a holodeck.
That'll be when we give up everything that it means to just be a person.
Human.
Jesse. Yeah. When they're able to put chips in our brains that just track
when you
us.
Spend all day with your Lucy Lou bot. What else?
I don't want to spoil it for you, but do you own one of these? You're already being tracked.
We can break these. If there's a chip in your brain, what are you gonna do? You're gonna pull some shit like in the movies and be like, somebody give me that machete and like dig it out? No. It's in your brain.
As breaking this. Yes.
The weirdest thing. Right. The weirdest thing about the Sulon Cortex, which is the one where you put on the headset and you see a different room with 90s CGI cubes floating around, is that it uses a cell phone. You literally slide a cell phone into the headset, and it has a little display adapter that hooks up to the screen of the cell phone. They're not wanting you to attach it to a console or PC. This company is actually betting that as the years goes on, cell phones will overtake them for VR purposes, which is weird. Well, it's actually technically AR, but the lines between the two blur.
Fine. No chips in our brains. I'll settle for robot love slaves. Get on that. That's my second position.
But then you got to think of the ethics
saw the
of the
art
situation.
piece, right? With the crazy lady robot dancer.
What?
She was fucking terrifying. Wait, let me find her.
What have you been doing on the internet, Dodger?
Art studio.
Can we get back to video games? So we try.
You guys talk about games.
Hardware.
I'm gonna find terrifying robot dancer. Oh, I found her.
I live in an imaginary world, a VR world, where the podcast always goes as planned and we stay on topic. Let's just say the technology isn't quite developed to the point that I want it to be yet.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Boop.
yeah, but it's still exciting. What's happening?
It is.
Oh.
This lady.
Oh, the Daily Mail. That's how you know this is.
You have to.
That's how you know it's high quality.
Over the break, Jesse, over the break. I need you to watch the video because the song she's dancing to.
I don't want to watch. It sounds horrifying.
No, listen, the song she's dancing to is a slowed down version of Blurred Lines. It's the creepiest thing you will ever see in your life.
Why is she wearing a goblin mask on only
It's an
half of
art
her face?
piece. It's an art piece.
Oh, it's art. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
It's art. What do I know about art?
Look,
She's got a pole in her, so she's pole dancing.
All I want
Get
to let
it?
you guys know is that 2015, that's Back to the Future 2.
Mm-hmm.
We don't have hoverboards or hover cars. I'm disappointed with reality.
Yeah.
It's boring.
Yeah, there was that. When was? It was
Instead,
not too
we
long
have
ago, right? That they
student
were
loans and-
joking about there being a hoverboard, and a bunch of people thought it was real, and then they had to issue an
Guys,
apology. Like, there's no hoverboard.
The Jetsons takes place in 1999.
Are you serious?
We are never gonna get into space. We're gonna all die here on Earth when the sun just
People were really
Takes us-
optimistic.
can't.
Wow.
I can't handle it. I can't handle it.
We really
You're letting me
disappointed
down,
that generation.
scientists. You're letting me down.
And I was so excited about VR too. And what is
The
life?
scientists are keeping all the good technology for themselves. That's why Neil deGrasse Tyson has a ship that flies him through space. We don't have anything.
Does he charge admission to come
No, he
fly
just
with
goes
him?
around. He's like, "This is the universe. Look what I see. I'm on my spaceship." What an asshole, Tyson.
An asshole.
TV's in his mind palace right now.
Yeah,
He's
you're
just like,
doing a little jig to escape the stupidity, aren't
it's
you?
just in the holodeck of his mind.
Okay, fine. Let's
We're not here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Co-optional Podcast. I've been playing nothing but DuckTales remixes the entire time, at the behest of our corporate overlords, the most the most malevolent Disney
Malevolent.
speech therapy corporation. As you can see, I haven't quite enrolled in the program yet.
Malevolent. What he meant to say was Maleficent, coming soon to theaters near you.
That is also true. I could have meant malevolent. That's also a possibility. But I'm pretty sure I'm not allowed to say that. So no, there are magnanimous overlords. Okay. Diablo, speaking of magnanimous overlords that spit loot everywhere. So I think most of us have played a good amount of Reaper of Souls now, yes?
Yes.
True. With the exception of the HOP. Yeah. Everyone else has played
Never really got into Diablo, unfortunately.
I kind of don't blame you. What the fuck is that?
If you want to see the most amazing picture ever taken, it's of myself, and it's on my Twitter, it's on my Tumblr, it's on my Facebook. It's myself and four wonderful cosplayers as the heroes from the game, but also then Josh Lore Allen, one of the most enigmatic WoW figures in the background, looking like a crazed lunatic. It is, it's beautiful. The foreground is unimportant. What I'm doing with those women in our like Charlie's Angels pose doesn't matter.
Go on.
In the background, Lore is just like, ugh. It's a beautiful picture, guys. I'm just saying, might be my all-time favorite.
What should I Google image search for?
Oh, just go to my Twitter account, Jesse Cox on Twitter, and it's one of the images there. It's a beautiful picture. But yeah, Diablo. Let's talk Diablo.
Yeah, we can do that.
That's video games.
It is.
It is.
Hey, that's games.
Here's the thing I've noticed recently is a lot of people are playing it more. Like I've seen people that used to be on my friends list that played Diablo now actually playing it, and I don't yet know if it's because they're enjoying the hell out of it, or because since there's no auction house, they can't instantly buy things they want, and so they're forced to grind. And they may not enjoy it, but they're forced to grind. Yeah, like I don't know if it's because they're
not
love
really
the game.
forced to grind per se. They could just not play it. I mean, they could do that.
I guess you're right. So I guess that means they must enjoy it on some level then.
I feel like pretty much everybody that's come back to it and tried it out after taking a long break is enjoying themselves for sure, which
More than
is
I
nice.
was.
People
Definitely.
hated Diablo 3 on launch.
Yeah,
like, I
it was one of
remember it being a shitstorm.
Yeah, it was bad.
I mean, to be honest, I had fun the first playthrough. I I never played Diablo 2. I only played Diablo 1, so I wasn't as connected with like the lore or anything, even though everybody has told me that Diablo 2 is like the best one.
The best. It's amazing.
But like playing it with Jesse, when we played it that first time on live stream, Jesse was losing his mind because he was like, what am I playing right now? I was able to enjoy it, but like I could tell that the people who were really into Diablo were going to just be like, no.
They really did. The Diablo story is, I mean, it's still a little bit of a letdown.
I'd say it's a hell of a letdown. Like the conclusion for Act 5 is bollocks.
I feel like the thing that, and we will not spoil that, by the way, because the game's still, you know, I'm also playing it on my channel. I don't want to spoil it. So anyway,
hang on. Well, I mean, we could. I've got my spoiler overlays ready. So
Nope, not gonna do it. Watch the stuff on my channel, guys.
This is the one time he decides not to do it purely for monetary gain.
Just
right.
You'll spoil anything else.
Bad things for him.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
But the thing that I think is really clear about the Diablo universe is that Blizzard likes to write things now in a certain way, and it's just not good for storytelling. Like if you played Diablo 2, that was an incredibly well told story, in that it was a guy, Marius, telling the story to Tyrael while your character was always one step behind. And so it's like, this is very good storytelling because you see like two different angles of what's happening with the action. And it flowed very well. Diablo 3 is like meh. But with that said, screw the storytelling. Gameplay wise, Diablo 3, the original launch, was kind of boring. There wasn't much to do, and any of the actual like farming and doing the things like going back to the game were taken out of it, which would have given it some longevity, because then there's the auction house and you can just buy whatever you wanted. This time they've scrapped the auction house. They've made the game much more fun to play. There's much more to do. Weapons and items now will sort of change how you want to play, and you have to keep switching through. There's a lot more to do. And plus,
I'm really excited.
They made Paragon levels more than just you get X this and X this and X this, like more gold and more. Now it's you can select where they go, so you can craft your characters even more specifically. And then adventure mode is the key to all of it. Adventure mode is hands down the best thing they've created. It's basically play Diablo, but now do little mini bounties within the world that you have visited in the past. And then there's Rift mode. Oh my god, guys. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
And they're going to be employing seasons now, which is smart, because it keeps the game like on the radar, I guess is the way to put it.
It's one of the reasons why I love Blizzard, because you know, and every time someone's like, you sold out to Blizzard, like, damn right. Yeah, I did. I love Blizzard. And I feel like they honestly looked at all the feedback and all the hate that they got and were like, how can we fix this? And they did it. They fixed it, and I'm totally okay with that. I love you guys.
Aside from the storytelling, you would say.
What's the seasons features? How does that work?
It's like with other games where there's seasonal events, right?
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And so they would be put into the bounties. So like Halloween, for example, you have to go kill the Headless Horseman, or I don't know if that'll be a thing, but it'll be a specific bounty, and you'll get specific rewards based on that, which I think did wonders for WoW, and that's why every other MMO copied it, because you can keep people coming back every month. Like, oh, there's something to complete this month? Oh, well, if you have to log in. Mm-hmm. It's genius. They got it figured out. I'm impressed.
So I guess that just keeps people looking forward to something in the long term?
Yeah. It's people will continue to come back to it.
It keeps you coming back. It's something that a lot of smaller like app games have employed across the board pretty much, where it's like, here's a reason for you to just hop into the app on your phone. It only takes a second, just to see what's going on in there. Oh, is there something new? Oh, it'll only take you a second. You just gotta play for a second. You'll get that
That's
thing.
how they get you.
Zookeeper Battles did that, where it was like, if you log in every day, you get a little point sticker thingy, and then you can put that towards it's a very smart plan, because it doesn't take any, like, it just takes the will of the player, and most people are like, oh, all I have to do is log on. Oh, and I have 2 games I can play today? Okay, and they play the games and they're gone. It's genius, because you can say, I have those people playing my game concurrently all the time, and so it just buffs your numbers. It's all marketing, and I think Blizzard marketed themselves very well this time, and I'm totally okay with it. Although I find it funny that their entire campaign and trailers are all based on the opening cinematic. Like, that's all they can show is 5 minutes of the game and they just re-edited it to make it like, oh, look at Malthael, he's such a badass. It just amuses me.
They don't want to spoil that, though. You ever have those moments where you see something like horribly epic and climatic looking in the trailer, and then you find out it's like 10 minutes into the game?
Yeah. That's, yeah. TB, you're strangely silent. What do you think of new Diablo?
It's okay. It's a lot better than it was before. I think, honestly, it's not Reaper of Souls that really fixed it. I would...
That patch was the big change.
Definitely the Loot 2.0 patch made a fairly huge difference. Diablo has always been about getting loot. Like, that's the priority. So if you got shit loot, and you could also then just buy your way to good loot, and the only way to run the difficulty, which was the case for the longest time before they kind of changed it, it was to have a very specific kind of like max magic find gear and shit like that. And some people in chat are making an argument that item drops are insubstantial. That makes no sense at all. Have you been playing the same game? You're out of your damn mind.
Yeah. They even had an update where they increased the amount of legendaries you get from certain things like rifts and things like that. I mean, it's insane to say that.
It makes no sense to me that people would say that, because the way that the legendaries have been set up now is I have received, in probably leveling up from 1 to 70, at least 8 different items that have completely changed my playstyle up to and including in the middle of what I was doing with the leveling, yeah? It's not just at 70. I ended up having I think it was a level 35 fist weapon. The stun chance on this fucking thing was 52%. Which is absurd. Apparently people have been looking for this weapon for PvP because it's massively overpowered in that respect. It completely changed my playstyle because, of course, what did I do? I went for the fastest attacking shit I could get. And I dropped a bunch of my defensive stuff because my stun chance was so high that I was taking far less hits, so I could completely change my playstyle in that respect. So,
I got a weapon in my playthrough that I'm doing that I'm going to use for my Crusader because I got it at level 70. It's a level 70 weapon, but one of the stats is reduces level requirement by 20. So it's a level 70 weapon that it can be used at level 50 by anyone. And so we just throw it over to another character. It changed how I play that other character because, holy crap, I now do 12,000% more damage on a guy who's level 50.
Yeah. There's all sorts of other things, like, you know, even the very specific stuff, like the stuff that really increases the amount of damage that physical or holy damage does. I had for the longest time a really good item that really gave me a lot of plus to holy, so I completely changed all of my abilities around it, and it forced me to change my playstyle as well. I'm on one right now. I have an amulet that gives me plus 20% to physical, and some gloves that I think give another 18%, so I'm like, right, shit, that's a lot. I've got to break out all of my physical abilities. And I actually had to, it's weird because it forced me to change my, I used Wave of Light a lot. Yeah, a lot. That was kind of my main sort of AoE damage attack. There's only one Wave of Light that uses physical damage, and that's the Stone Pillar, the Ancient Pillar, which is a really weird modifier, a really weird rune, because it turns the Wave of Light into this giant pillar, which falls from the sky, and it does damage, and then after 2 seconds it explodes and does damage again. Completely changes the way that you play, because more often than not you are dropping it down defensively and kiting people into it for maximum damage. I then got a headpiece, which has a chance to make all of my abilities cost no spirit for 4 seconds. So I'm actually keeping an eye out for that to trigger, and then I'm just going to start hammering that button and getting as many of those pillars down as possible, all sorts of things like that. I even changed the seven-sided strike rune that I was using. I think if you genuinely believe that items are somehow not significant in Diablo since Loot 2.0, I'm not sure what game you've been playing, because
I agree with that.
That does not make any sense to me at all. Gems in particular, super important now because you can get the much higher tier stuff. You know, I shoved, I was looking particularly for items with sockets because I went super crit, and I got like 150% crit damage in each fucking weapon, and then went crazy with that and then focused on crit. And yeah, I mean, I'm finding all the time that the items I'm getting are really affecting my playstyle. I'm looking for very specific items.
And even though Legend... Go for it.
Go for it.
No, and even though legendaries are the main ones that change how you play because they're different increases, like one might be magic missile increased by 40% like damage or whatever. Even yellow and blue items have those modifiers on them too. So I have a lot of yellow ones. I for a while I had maybe half my gear was magic missile increases, and then the other half was cold stuff. So I just did cold magic missiles, and suddenly I'm just like one-shotting dudes, and it worked really, really great. And that's the kind of thing that it's those synergies you're looking for now. And items change how you play, because I never, in however many years Diablo's been out, have touched magic missiles as a spell. Never bothered. Didn't care. They look stupid. I didn't want them. And now I'm using them. Magic missiles. I mean, they're missiles of magic. So in this case, I fire frosty
other
ones.
Games.
Yeah.
It's a lot better than it was. I think it's a significant improvement. The original Diablo 3 I definitely did not like. I'm dipping into adventure mode. Obviously, I hit 70. I mostly do it depending on which set of mobs I get. I switch between Master and just Torment 1 because I don't really have the gear set or the skill yet to really play any higher Torment, plus I don't play in a group. So I always do that solo stuff. And yeah, I mean, I have a bit of fun with it. As you said, the bounties can take anywhere between about 5 to 15 minutes at most to do. I don't like the rifts. I'm going to be honest. I don't like the fucking rifts. Because I think the bounties do very well because they have a lot of sub-objectives, like go into this dungeon and clear this floor, or find the cursed shrine, or like cleanse this area and things like that. I think they could do a lot more to make bounties more interesting than they currently are, but they're pretty good. The rifts are one of two things. And they're pretty much the same thing, which is kill X number of minions or kill the boss, which requires you to get X number of minions in order to summon it in the first place. And it's just reused assets and completely randomized enemies. Like, oh, there's some zombies here, and then there's some demons here, and then there's a fucking mallet lord in the middle of nowhere, blah, 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 blah. I don't dig that. I am not big into that. But to be fair, what is it replacing? Like, especially in Diablo 2, it's fucking replacing things like bail runs and shit like that, running the same content over and over and over and over again.
Yeah, and the thing that I like about it is at the end, after completing it, you also get shards, and the shards are used for essentially gambling, which is
fucking hate that. I got 35 pairs of boots last night. 35 pairs of boots. Was any of them an upgrade? Fuck no. They were shit.
Here's the thing, it's crazy because the first couple shards I ever used, I used for stuff that I needed to replace. I was like, oh, I'll replace this, and got all upgrades. I was so excited. Except for my chest piece. My armor is still level 60, and I can't find a better one in the game. I'm 70, and I can't find one that's better. And so I've dumped maybe 400 shards into this lady, and it's all garbage. And she keeps saying things like, better luck next time. I was like, I'm gonna murder you. I'm a wizard. I killed Diablo. This is insane. Like, sorry.
I gotta say, as someone who never really got into Diablo, this is a little overwhelming.
Yeah.
I have no clue what's going on now, but it sounds a lot like a lot of the other reasons why I can't really, unfortunately, get into a lot of competitive multiplayer games nowadays, which is going to make for a really awkward podcast, I know. But I got into CSGO for a little while.
Here's the storm for 3 hours again.
Yeah, I got into CSGO. Like, that's probably the closest, literally, experience I have with stuff going on the MOBA scene and Diablo and whatnot. And that had seasons in it, and it had gambling with these crates and these boxes. And I don't know, maybe I'm just getting old or whatnot. But it seems like without a straight up raw competition, the experience of looting and that affecting your stats it feels manufactured to me.
Oh yeah.
I find Diablo to be very relaxing because there isn't honestly at its base core there isn't that much that's expected of you. You know?
You just click.
You click.
Definitely not on the lower difficulties. Absolutely not.
You click, you have 4 abilities, you know, you swap stuff out, you get loot. And it can be very relaxing to play. And obviously, as you get into more like hardcore modes, it requires more of you. But the basic level of what you're doing is the same, you know? So like comparing this to like, we were talking about 4X games earlier. Those games stress me out so bad because I can't keep track of everything, you know? So like a game like Diablo, I don't find overwhelming at all. It's just very like, all right, I walk over here and I kill some more dudes.
And you click.
And I walk
it is
over
definitely
here and I
thoroughly
kill some more
brainless,
dudes.
although I do believe that you agonize a lot over, it's like, well, is this an upgrade? What am I,
I hate that too.
I had the real problem with this legendary headpiece that we weigh for like 20 levels because like, but but the special ability's so good. I don't want to. Oh, but I have to. It's like having to take the piece of gear out the back and get the shotgun out. It's like, I'm sorry, we had a good life together, but it's time for you to visit the other side now.
On a lesser level, I feel that same way about Mighty Quest. When I play Mighty Quest sometimes and I
Mighty
switch
Quest
out
for
gear, I'm
Epic
like,
Loot?
Yes.
yeah. And I switch out gear sometimes. I'm like, oh, but this one has like a really good health buff.
Is that
but
thing
I
still
really
early
should,
access?
It's open beta now.
It's open beta now.
And it's free.
Oh, okay.
So,
I mean, there was a lot of controversy a few months ago about them selling like DLC packages for the early access game.
yeah.
I don't know if they're still up to that or not. I haven't really been following it.
Yeah, so when I started, I actually made a video back when their monetization was awful, where you could basically buy anything in the game with real money, and I was like, you gotta be shitting me. They got rid of
And the
all
game's
of that.
not even done.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean,
yeah.
Not only is it not done, but this was a bad idea. Even if it is, it was.
Is that it's a representation of these business practices?
Indeed, yes.
That
However,
mug.
they fixed a lot of that. Everything you can buy now is basically cosmetic, with the exception of you can buy access to the 4th class, which is actually not that good. I mean, it's okay, but you could also like buy an early access to this boss, but they didn't let you upgrade it, so it's useless. It is completely useless.
Like, cosmetics is kind of like the community accepted way around the troubles
Yes.
of microtransactions, right? The idea is that you basically build a good game that's competitive enough by its own and then only sell cosmetics, like League or something.
Well, the thing is, League doesn't just sell cosmetics. That's the problem. It sells champions. I mean, back a few years ago, League was pointed to as the example of the fairest business model ever. And then Valve comes along with Dota, and it's like, we have infinite money. We can do whatever the fuck we want. Hats. And then...
Oh my god.
There they go.
Sorry. Speaking of fairest business models, have you guys seen the April Fools for Path of Exile?
That is very much related to this, considering that is a Diablo-like.
It's so funny. Yeah, that's why I thought.
Free-to-play Diablo-like.
I love the way they just pretended to not even know what pay-to-win is. Like, it's like, this is our assumption of what pay-to-win is.
It's so good. Congratulations, you won.
You won.
Oh,
Buy these
the headline
fireworks.
just says,
so funny.
Path of Exile is now pay to win.
Yeah.
That's straight and to the point.
Yeah, it was pretty great.
I love this. They went to this is from an article from Shack News. It just says, they went to Game Developers Conference and learned that the best way to make money is in fact to charge money.
That is the problem with Path of Exile. It doesn't charge much.
That's the thing, though. You were at GDC, right? Like, that's what
I
half
still
the
have
talks were
my
about.
thingy.
Yes.
Uh-huh. Let me see what's in here. Let's learn about how to make money.
Yes.
Okay, hang on. You might want
The whales one
to
is
fill
my
up while I find the right page.
The targeting whales, finding whales, that's my absolute... The fact that, like, that's just... Look, they're whales now. People.
They're not human beings, they're whales.
No.
That term has existed before, too. Like, I remember a few years ago, I watched an episode of Community where they were talking about whales, like these rich college students who would end up paying money for the rest of it. And, 2 months ago, there was or was it 1 month ago? There was a research report that a company released stating that 0.015% of mobile free-to-play customers make up more than half of the revenue.
Yep.
Which is, I don't like to get as acerbic as TV does about stuff, but that is fucking disgusting. Ugh.
Well, but the thing is if you're the game developer, you can cite that and say, like, look, it's just an option that exists out there. Not many people use it, and so I don't know why everyone's getting bent out of shape, because it's factually true. Not many people do buy stuff, and they can continue to say, we offer it for those who would like it. Sure, it's going to ruin some of your game experiences, but...
Yeah, you
It's such a
don't get to
small
make
number,
that
though.
argument when it affects the core design of your game. You can't do that.
But 0.015, that is less than the 1% that's holding up this industry. And that number could either be ridiculously rich people throwing around money because they can, or that could be people who have legit problems.
Yes.
And if someone actually manages to find these people, this 0.015%, and sees if they have the same... Yeah, if they find the whales and see that they have the same kind of problems that lead to gambling addiction and whatnot, that's a big story.
That's actually Chat's absolutely right. Like, whales is an old casino term. Like, that's what they would call the big spenders. So yeah, I mean that's
I found
it might
a good
be a problem
one,
in casinos too, but it has to do with people with a lot of disposable income, or those who perceive they have disposable income, throwing it away on just the stupidest crap. And that's what this is.
Here's a talk. The Chinese formula to a sustainable blockbuster.
Fuck that. Talk about a market that doesn't give a shit when it comes to fairness.
I was just gonna
Jackpot
say,
slots and live ops. A post-mortem on how we got to number 1.
Oh my god. I think there's 4 tiers of free to play. Yeah? 4 tiers. Yeah. So tier 1 is Valve tier. Okay? So this is, we have no worries about money whatsoever, or we got super crowdfunded like Path of Exile. Pure cosmetic. Yeah, pure cosmetic. Which is weird because the only game I think that's actually in that tier is... Yeah, the only game that's in that tier is actually Dota 2, because even Path of Exile, technically, you can pay for convenience in that. You can pay for slots in your what the fuck is it called? The stash. Yeah.
But I think the problem with that is that you need like capital investment to do that. Like Valve can get away with it, but other companies that kind of have to start from the ground up have to be a bit more exploitive.
Well, they absolutely do, because they need to make that the cost of the fucking thing back, and they have, especially on free-to-play games, people expect constant updates. Like there was a debate over Tribes, I think Tribes Ascend, as to what is the expected lifespan of a title like that. How long should Tribes Ascend be supported for? It was basically officially supported and updated for over a year. At that point, Hi-Rez got in a lot of trouble for basically dropping it for Smite.
Yeah.
And that made me really sad because I was hugely into Tribes Ascend at the time. Yeah.
Representing ATL.
Do I blame Hi-Res for it? After hearing their explanation, I'm still pissed with them, but I understand why they had to make that business decision, and their justification was pretty good.
Sorry.
Yeah, I would. Heroes. Someone mentioned Heroes of New Earth. I just want to point out, by the way, that I feel that if a game eventually converts to that at the end of its potential life cycle, then I think that it doesn't really count. Heroes of New Earth started off as a $30 title. It then went free to play, but it also sold early access to Heroes. And eventually it went kind of full on Dota, eventually, after it had kind of already gone through the motions. Going in there immediately with that model, no, Loadout does not have that. So here's tier 2, guys. Here's tier 2 of the free to play pyramid here. Loadout does not have that. Loadout has boosters, yeah? So boosters are tier 2. That is, you cannot directly buy in-game currency, but you can accelerate the rate at which you acquire it, yeah? So there's your tier 2. That's a very, very common thing. Very common.
It's almost, might as well be the same thing.
But is it, though?
As buying currency. Well, you're buying access to currency, or
you're buying
easier
the
access to
speed
currency.
at which you get it. You still have to play for it, though.
Right.
I mean, you could argue at that point. I make this argument a lot because I'm the kind of person that buys boosters a lot. And here's my argument for it, right? My argument in favor of boosters is I'm still having to play it. I don't have as much time as these guys to play it. I am acquiring experience at a greater rate, and that's kind of an equalizer that I'm able to do. Yeah. And some people still don't like that. So I understand that they don't like it. I personally think it's okay. I think it's fine, because all you're doing is accelerating the rate at which you acquire the stuff you would have got anyway, and the stuff that everyone else still has access to.
And that kind of digs into the idea of time as currency. I think totally. maybe one of the reasons why companies are getting away with this nowadays is because we've all grown up. We're all adults. When you're an adult, you're really busy. You can't play games all day, and you realize, people say time is money. That's incredibly true, because you are literally paid by the hour. So then you're paying for less hours that you could then spend earning money with.
And a lot of people are looking at, I've heard this from a lot of my friends as well. They've just said, look, I get paid X amount an hour. This is how much this time is going to save me. Frankly, it's worth me buying this booster. It is worth me buying this booster.
And it's not just, I mean, as a former economics teacher, it's not just about your job and making money. It's also about...
Hang on, weren't you teaching, grade school students about this?
First off, they were ninth to 12th year old, or 9th grade to 12th.
9th through 12th year old.
9th grade to 12th grade. Sorry. So
Should I get the Disney Speech Therapy Center Conglomerate Corporation to help you here? I can book you an appointment.
Jesse has been an English teacher, a history teacher, and an economics teacher.
I taught in the inner city. We had to do all of it. Oh my god.
Rough in the
that's the truth. So
I don't blame you,
man. But the basic idea is it's not just money. the time is money thing relates to everything. So it's all about cost benefit of what you're going to decide to do. So I could say, I'm going to spend this hour doing X or spend this hour playing this game. And then you value one of those more than the other. So if you value your time with your family, right, with your kids or your wife or your significant other more than you do this game, you might say, putting money into this game so I can still be involved with the game while still spending time with my family is a good deal for me. And that's why people would do it. That's how it works.
I still think it's kind of terrible, though, because that's such like a passionless, objective, and economical way of looking at the time that you spend gaming, where it becomes more of a monetary and a time obligation than something you do for fun. And I don't know, maybe I'm just an idealist.
But if you're going to feel like it's a grind instead of fun to like need to get those boosters to get to where you want to be, and you're not enjoying yourself as much, then maybe
why would you play that game and not another one with less grinding?
Maybe you really enjoy that game. Like
it's hard to do now. If you're an FPS fan, it's very hard to find a game that doesn't have that grind. You could basically play CS:GO, and you can play CS:GO. Some of the freeware stuff. Pretty much all the AAA FPS have some form of progression model, and almost all the free-to-play ones do. Which
makes the early games so awkward. Like in the new Battlefields and whatnot, you don't have the defib when you're medic for the first couple hours. So what do you do as medic? You're better off taking other people's gear than going out with your own.
Yeah, that's just dumb. It doesn't really help that much. It kind of moves us on to tier 3 of the free-to-play pyramid. I think there's actually 5 tiers, because I'm pretty sure Dungeon Keeper is tier 5.
Whose tier is this?
So tier 3, this is basically Warframes and PlanetSide 2's tier, okay? So they sell cosmetics, they sell boosters, but they also let you buy items that could otherwise be acquired with experience. So we're talking about basically guns, weapons, things like that. You can either work towards them and acquire them, or you can pay money for them. But at this tier, we should bear in mind that all of those items are still available for experience, yeah? You are not getting an item which performs differently for just money that cannot be acquired via experience anyway. That is tier 3. And a lot of people now definitely do not agree with tier 3.
Yeah, that sounds horrible.
That's League of Legends, the biggest free-to-play game in the world. It's World of Tanks, the biggest free-to-play game in the world. In fact, for the longest time, World of Tanks was actually tier 4, which was they sold gold ammo that you could only buy with money that did more damage than regular ammo.
Okay, there we go.
Oh my god, I almost imagine I feel like that should be the case in all games with ammo. Because then people wouldn't just randomly... Like, if you play Battlefield, some maps, there's a hallway and just guys shooting back and forth and nothing happening. If it was gold, if you had to spend money to fire, it'd be so much more tactical.
You're just being devil's advocate right now. And then I get it, but no.
I'm just saying it'd be more fun for me to watch people be like, don't fire, don't fire.
This, by the way. Cadred's point is the absolute biggest, most important point about this. He says, tier 3 gets very dicey. It encourages company to make the grind as miserable as possible without driving too many people away. Exactly. No, League of Legends is definitely not tier 2. You can buy champions. You're out of your mind. League is tier 3. Very much so.
Like, whose tiers are these? Who's, is this like your stuff?
I'm making this up off the top of my head.
Really?
I should make a video on this. Yeah.
Make a video. Make it happen.
It's all I did for my 3 panels at Game Vid Expo. Hey!
So I found another one. Maximizing gaming revenue through player experience, real-time visibility matters.
Yep.
There was a booth about monetizing players outside of the game. That's literally what it was called. Monetizing players outside the game.
I like the one that was just called Legally Monetizing Teens.
Yeah,
it almost sounded like how to traffic in teenagers.
That was...
Oh my god.
Yeah, GDC was such... I took a picture and it's my... Look, I love GDC. It was a lot of fun.
I thought it was great.
There's a lot of real good bro moments at GDC. One of them was the biggest line at GDC was for the booth with free beer. It was... Mwah.
And they gave it to you in the sparkly cup?
Yes, with the spinny...
So to bring this back on topic, because this means nothing, Just to finish off the discussion, the last tier would be the ability to buy something that affects the power of your character that is not available to anyone that does not pay. So an example of that would be
pre-orders.
Elder Scrolls Online is tier 4 right now, even though it's not a free-to-play game, because it offers the Imperial race, which has certain advantages, which is not available to anyone that does not specifically pay for it. Funnily enough, Dungeon Keeper isn't actually tier 5, as much as you can say, hey, it's... Dungeon Keeper is actually tier...
The one with the time?
Yeah, it's funnily enough, I think Dungeon Keeper is actually tier... It's an extreme tier 1.
This is why you need to write it down.
Yeah, I need to write this down.
Tier 2.
Yeah, it's tier 2.
Because
but it's done in an extreme way. Yeah.
And this way you can also balance your tiers to make sure that Dungeon Keeper is lowly sucking the scum on the bottom where it should be.
Indeed. Yeah, it's tier 2. The funny thing is that I think Dungeon Keeper demonstrates that it is very possible to take what otherwise could be a fair model and completely make it fucking evil. Right? Really evil. And you compare, like, boosting in Dungeon Keeper to boosting in Loadout, yeah? In Loadout, boosting, it helps you maybe unlock the weapons you want a little bit faster, and that's kind of about it, yeah? And honestly, in Loadout, the basic weapons are really, really good. Really fucking good. And that's very true in PlanetSide and even in stuff like, what else? Blacklight Retribution, stuff like that. But Dungeon Keeper is just... They designed the entire game solely to be just a thankless fucking grind.
Yeah, and that's where the arguments get kind of wishy-washy with how the game design is built. Is it built to incorporate a timed grind, or how long do they want you playing legitimately to unlock that stuff? That's what determines the legitimacy of the pay-to-play scheme.
Indeed. And more to the point, is the game still fun without it? Like, if you go into PlanetSide... Yeah, you load up a new account. You're probably going to die a lot because, hey, you're new to it. But are you still a viable member of, the PlanetSide army? Can you go in and attack an objective? Absolutely, because your basic gun is rock solid. Yeah, all the basic guns in that game, rock solid. But the problem is, there are always going to be some times when balance is kind of out of whack, right? And then what you end up having is a situation where... I take League of Legends or even Heroes of the Storm as a good example here. When a character is OP and is not kind of on the rotation, he's not like a default character that you get, and he maybe costs a lot of in-game currency, and then the accusations of pay-to-win come in, right? Because you say, oh, wow, you've made this really powerful character super expensive. Well, that's a dick move, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes, Jesse?
No, I'm busy trying to find exactly what I would call a tier 2 like that. I don't want to say something cheesy like it's chaotic evil, but I feel like it's like there's a good term.
Are we at D&D now?
Apparently,
there's a good term, and I'm trying to wiki it to figure out what it's called that explains the difference between a loadout and Dungeon Keeper they can be the same thing but two totally different sides of the coin, and it's driving me crazy. Sorry.
You can't have too much of a thing. Sort of an idea.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah. Can we stop pretending, by the way, that Riot introduces super overpowered broken champions that are expensive? Like, that meme is old. That meme is 2-3 years old. That doesn't happen. People have huge confirmation bias when it comes to tracking the history of that. But there is a risk of it. There is a risk of it. And I think if people do object to that, I don't blame them. I would much prefer games not be free to play. But that's from my perspective as someone who has a lot of disposable income. I think teenagers, on the other hand, very happy with games being free to play because they have a lot of time and they don't have a lot of money. So they can just go in.
I gotta admit, when free-to-play started getting popular, it seemed like a good idea at first. I don't know if it's because of the financial situation I was in at the time, but... I don't know. I remember thinking that Hawken would be awesome because you could just download it and go, and then I actually started playing, and it wasn't.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of people agree with that because They want the choice, they want the option. I think a lot of us who are much older are just sick and tired of going into a game and not having access to everything. You know, when I bought Unreal Tournament, it didn't lock guns behind pay or experience walls. It didn't lock maps behind pay or experience walls. I could play whatever the fuck I wanted right out of the box.
Right.
I love that, and I'm sick of the fact that we can't do that anymore.
Is that because of the massive increase in online play that they want to keep people playing online long enough to have an like if I log in 2 weeks from now,
it probably has a lot to do with it, especially bearing in mind the amount of competition. Because of course, if an online player base dies out, that game is basically dead, and good luck reviving it. It's very
back
hard.
in like the late 90s, Unreal Tournament and Quake didn't have that problem. People were playing that game for years into the coming decade.
True, but they were also completely superb in every way, and there are plenty of FPS that came out at the time that got completely destroyed as a result of that. There were, you know, for every Unreal Tournament, there were a fucking 100 arena FPS that just never got a community and were basically dead on arrival. Because there's only a certain number of gamers that are playing a certain number of games. So all of these titles are trying to get you on the bandwagon and keep you on it for as long as possible.
So are we, in a really strange way, experiencing a healthier economy in that there are more diverse products that are staying viable for longer, but they're doing it at the expense of borderline unethical business practices? And how good should we feel about that?
That's a fucking great topic for a video, so feel free to steal it before I do, but because I might. But I think.
Don't worry, I'm busy typing up all of the tiers for my upcoming free-to-play video.
That's right.
damn it,
I didn't
Dodger.
come up with tiers.
And she'll do it quicker than me as well, because she just turns her webcam on, drinks some fucking coffee, plays with a cat, and talks.
Let's talk about some tiers, am I right?
God damn it, Dodger! I have a 24-hour lead time on my shit.
Hi guys, it's tier time. And she just starts,
I think what you bring up is a really good point, and also demonstrates the fact that, hey, as I've said it many fucking times before, these issues are not black and white. There are advantages to free-to-play becoming as popular as it is, because I do believe that it is a model which has allowed more games that otherwise would not be viable in this market to continue to be viable. Yeah. I, however, also think that has created it's almost essential that you have to be free-to-play, because if you try and sell something like an FPS in a market where there are a lot of really good free-to-play FPS available, you are going to have a bad time unless your name is Titanfall, you know, unless you are really big and scary. There are very few FPS
numbers have plummeted
Yeah.
on Twitch.
Really?
It's crazy. We were talking about that last night. I was like, what?
It's
because I had hopes
I
for
said
it.
this. I said this weeks ago. Titanfall worried me because I didn't know. It's fun to play for a few hours, but after that, you start to feel like a little drag. Like there's something about the game. I don't know if it's what part of it. I'd have to do like an actual real review. But I mean, like, there's something after a while. You're just like, well, that was fun, and you just move on. Like I remember
It's like
vividly
Goat
feeling
Simulator.
like
Kind
I
of
felt like
the impression I got
I'm
from
going to
the
go back to
beta.
Battlefield 4. That's what I said. Like that's where I was at. I was like, BF4. I'll go back to that now.
I
weird.
played the beta for Titanfall, and I was having like the time of my life, but I also did experience that after 5 hours. I haven't bought the full game because I like my money, but I chalked it up at the time to there being a limited number of maps and modes, and it's kind of heartbreaking for me to hear that this problem is extending to the full game as well.
The modes are the worst. Like the maps are really good. There's a lot of them, and they're very well designed for the most part, with the exception of Fracture, which is terrible. But outside of that,
why did they put that in the beta?
I don't even know.
I don't know.
That was the worst map they have in their pool.
Not the wisest map to put in the beta.
But the problem is the modes. There's no exciting modes. You go in, it's like, oh, so they added Capture the Flag and Pilot Hunter. That's it. Like that's it.
I wish I got to play Pilot Hunter in the beta. That sounds fun.
Apparently, Capture the Flag's the best mode when you've got a proper team. Like, it can be really, really cool. But it's like that's not a good set of modes. It is not, and that means you basically end up going back to playing attrition all the time, which it does.
Where's then?
Yeah, which we've been there, done that. You know, we've been there, done that an awful lot. But yeah, again, I think your point was interesting, because I think free-to-play has done a lot of good things, but simultaneously also done a lot of bad things, and I just hope that, at least on PC at any rate, it continues to allow incredible stuff to be made. I think that PlanetSide 2 would not have been made without free-to-play.
Yeah.
Because the submodel for PlanetSide, that's a game that relies on big numbers. And good luck getting them if you have a submodel, especially in this day and age, right? That was the problem PlanetSide, the original one, had when I was playing it. It's like, shit, we can maybe lock a continent, if that. And then the other continents, nothing's happened. And that game had like 9 continents. So I was like, well, this is silly. We want to have a worldwide war, and we're only focused in one place because that's where the players are. And I'm glad that free-to-play exists because it allows things like PlanetSide 2 to exist. And
Well, sorry.
No, by all means.
I was gonna say that I can't remember. It wasn't last week because last week I was on cold medication and barely participated. But I think the week before.
Con flu, man. Seriously, I caught a cold from Game Vid Expo.
It's the worst. I
At
had
Game
that
Vid
cough
X, I
that
had
just,
a
like,
cold.
won't go away.
What if I gave you your cold?
Then I should never have invited you on the show.
That could have been me.
It could have been. It could have been.
Man.
All that kissing
Anyway.
you guys do.
Don't joke about that.
A couple
Don't tell
weeks
anyone our
ago.
secrets.
A couple weeks ago, we had talked about how in the UK, I believe they were discussing how to keep people more informed about
Yes.
what a free
Yeah,
game
it was a few weeks
ago,
is, what's involved in a free game. I'm kind of the opinion of make whatever you want as long as it's very clear what it's going to be like to play your game.
Yes.
How much do I get? How much am I going to be expected to pay for? Like, if that sort of clarity could become more common, I feel like it wouldn't be as big of an issue. But it's because it's so underhanded and weird that
It's
we wind up
extremely
feeling...
And
Effective.
that would happen in
deceived.
the UK. That would happen in the UK, wouldn't it?
And
like
not
compared
here.
to the USA, that's going to be a lot harder to pull off. And I think what it's going to take is some journalist out there actually finding that 0.015% and seeing if these companies really are subsisting off of the dollars of people who are vulnerable and
Kids
easily
have got to die,
exploited.
basically. And no, they do. Like, I'm deadly serious. Kids have got to die because
Kids
this
have
guy.
got to die. Quote, Total Biscuit.
Yeah,
Total
this-
Biscuit, 2014.
Kid starves to death
John
because single mother spent all her money on Clash of the Clans. That's got to happen.
I don't
And
want to get
then
political,
people will
but
realize.
we'd have gun reform if that was the case. That's all I'm saying, Jessica.
Oh, that's true.
Wow,
2014.
yeah.
So I don't think it matters.
I honestly, I don't think the
capitalism.
Republicans give as much of a shit about Clash of the Clans as they do about
Oh no,
guns.
I think both parties dislike video games altogether. So if they can
Yeah,
come up
that's
with a way
true.
to screw us in some way, I bet they both would. So that's just
Probably.
They hate video games and love strict copyright laws. Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's lovely.
Oh boy.
great. Free
These are
market,
interesting
everybody.
times we live in, my friends.
It's true.
Thanks,
The
thanks,
internet.
government.
Next, it's
Thanks.
chips in the brain. And we're going to be those guys in those movies with machetes trying to get the chips out, and we won't be able to, and we'll die.
What is with
First
you
off, that'll
fucking
be-
machetes?
First off,
It's
that'll
always
be
a
you.
machete, isn't it? When you're out on the island and people are after you and you need to get that chip out of your head so that they can't find you because, you're wanted.
Why are you running? Dodger,
What? How are you
we're
coming
Why
up
else
with
would you?
I
Why else would you want
Why
the
are you
chip
running,
out?
Dodger?
This is
Unless
an awfully
they
specific.
found out
It's
that you're part of the rebels. You're part of the rebels and you're trying to get away,
I would
and you
be-
need to get that chip out of your head so they can't
Is
find
this
you.
because
and
of your
find the
Miley
rest of the rebels.
Cyrus hair? Is this why this is happening?
I'm Miley.
It's a little
my Miley
terrible.
Cyrus hair.
I mean,
Yeah,
you know, it looks at camera right now. It's pretty fucking Miley Cyrus.
It looks.
flip this bit back. Your ponytail, flip it back, and all of a sudden you have Miley Cyrus hair. Get rid of the top part. Miley Cyrus hair. Boom.
I've been wondering if I should say something this whole time about
Incredible.
that.
It's incredible.
I was just letting it happen. Like,
Can't stop, and we won't stop.
can
What
I
have
we
remove
done?
the show right now?
What-
Just-
that's why she's trying to get the chip out. We're trying to hunt her down to make her stop singing. And she's like, no, I'll never.
And that was an awfully specific
Never
nightmare
stop.
scenario.
Oh, jeez. Okay, let's talk releases. Mostly because
Oh,
that'll
boy.
stop Dodger from singing,
releases.
and she can talk about the releases.
Oh, you got one. TV.
Please stop. Please stop.
It's our party. We can
Continued
do what we
adventures of
want.
Shannon Tweed is
It's our
coming out.
party. We
I-
can say what
I
we
wish
want.
she'd stop
It's
it.
our
This was
party. We
this
can
was
do
a
what we
full
Roger,
week in
please.
England. I want to point out this was a full week of this nonstop singing. It was unbearable.
Dodger, please.
This is all Disney's fault. This is all Disney's fault.
Okay, April 1st. April
Yes!
Fool's Day. We have MLB 14, The Show, for PS3, PlayStation 3 Network, Vita, and PlayStation Vita Network.
Yes, we do.
There's that. Ragnarok Odyssey Ace
Yes.
PS3 and PSN and all that.
It's kind of an upgrade to Ragnarok Odyssey that was on the Vita previously. Sort of. But it's also now on PS3 too.
Ace.
Assuming the other one wasn't, which it might have been, but I wasn't paying attention, so it's a possibility. Not a big fan of Ragnarok. Next one.
King Oddball for PlayStation 4.
Oh, the killer app we've finally been waiting for. Okay. What the hell is it?
Oddball? What is
King
It's
Oddball?
going to make PlayStation 4. People, they're going to be flying off the shelves, you guys.
Oh, well, originally it was on iPhone, so this bodes well.
It does look silly, though, but yeah,
The primary gameplay features a single push of a button. Great, that's what I bought my next-gen console for. Thank fuck for that.
It doesn't look like it cost anything on mobile either, so
Why would you get it?
that's the route we're
It's the
going.
next big thing, $49.99.
It's all right. It has Project Morpheus support, so you'll get the full interactive and immersive
The full
experience.
oddball
Great.
experience.
Indeed. You basically get balls in your face from all angles.
You turn into an
Perfect.
oddball.
Perfect.
Too late.
Not just two Miley Cyrus now.
What's next?
Next one, Shin Megami Tensei Devil Summoner for PlayStation 3 Network.
I feel like I should know about that.
One of the amazing SMT games, of which there are about 5 fucking million of them.
People like those.
I have that game on my 3DS. Well, 4.
Isn't Devil
4.
Summoner the one that has Dante in it? Pretty sure it is.
Is it? I don't know.
Was that the one with Dante? Or was it the other one? Pretty sure it is with Dante. Possibly. Because I remember selling that game when I worked in game. So yeah, it's been around for a while. So that's actually a PS2
Yep.
classic. So that's
You're
coming on
correct.
PS3 network.
Interesting.
Dante's in there.
Yep.
Old school Dante, not new school Dante.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Not
When his
Dante,
hair was
Dante.
white, and he fought at night, he ate pizza by day, and threw roses at lay days. That didn't rhyme, please.
Oh, I was hoping you were going to rhyme it, and you just kind of like...
Well, that's a TED talk in the making.
I gave up.
Yes,
Next
more
up.
stuff.
Goat Simulator for PC.
Yes, we are certainly aware of that one.
Next up, Fright Fight for Ouya.
Oh, thank God.
Oh, God.
I know.
This will save the Ouya. Also an
April
iOS game, I
2nd.
might add.
On April 2nd, we have Batman Arkham Origins Blackgate for Wii U, Xbox game stuff,
Yep.
and PlayStation 3
That was the
Network.
one that was on the PS Vita initially. That was the handheld one, which was not made by Rocksteady, although the other one wasn't either, actually. And they've got it's on PC right now, actually, kind of HD version. It's more of a 2D side scroller, though.
Okay.
Also, Boot Hill Heroes.
Boot Hill Heroes.
Boot.
Butt Hill or Boot Hill?
Butt Hill Heroes.
Butt Hill
Love you
Heroes.
guys.
Oh,
Hill
bye.
Heroes.
Butt
He's
Hill
gone. He cannot-
Heroes.
He was like,
For
Butt Hill
PlayStation
Heroes, I've
Network
got
Vita.
to go buy that right now.
Right now.
He left. He was gone.
See ya. I'm going to game. April 3rd, Rusty's real. By the way, that game was actually called Boot Hill Heroes. I want to make that very clear.
Is that why he left us?
April 3rd, we've got Rusty's Real Deal Baseball for 3DS.
Who is Rusty?
I don't know.
The Rusty, don't you know?
Yeah.
Us sports fans know exactly who that is, right, guys?
Yeah, he's the one who does the Real Deal Baseball.
As
Not that
opposed to Franklin's
Fake
fake baseball.
Yeah.
That Franklin, what a
Rusty's real
shill.
deal is the real deal.
Rusty gets it.
Next up is Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga for Wii.
Okay, there we go. An actual fun game.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know what that is. What is it?
Oh, I've played it before on handhelds. It's like
it just
a Mario and
Mario?
Luigi RPG. No,
What?
it's funny.
Oh,
Wait, it's an RPG?
Yeah.
that's fun.
Hold the phone. Is it like the old school Mario RPG?
Stop. I got
No,
it.
it's-
What's
it's-
this stuff?
It's kind of different. It's like kind of side scrolly. And but yeah, it is a Mario RPG. You should enjoy it. I recommend it.
Saga. Is that what that's called? Superstar Saga?
Superstar
Oh wow. Yeah,
Saga.
this is old schoolish.
Yeah.
For Wii U. Hey, that's a thing I could play on my Wii U.
No
A
shit, I
thing
was
you
about to
could
say,
play
that's
on
not
your
a-
Wii U.
That's great. I
God,
finally
I
can
know.
turn that thing on again.
This podcast is getting more and more optimistic by the minute.
I know.
Man, first it was Rusty's Real Deal Baseball, and now we're here.
We've got 2 more
Hey.
Wii U games coming up in this list right now.
What?
Oh
Ready?
shit!
Next
Metroid
one.
Fusion.
Metroid
Oh, sorry,
Fusion.
sorry. Yeah.
No, it's fine. Metroid
Oh, that's a good
Fusion
one.
for Wii U. And Advance
my
Wars
faves.
for Wii U. All coming
Advance
out
Wars.
on the
Alright.
3rd.
Look at that kick-ass GBA lineup for the Wii
Yeah, I
U.
was about to say
coming up
Wii
this
U
week.
finally doing it. Finally,
Yeah.
With
people are out, so we
GBA games
can-
from like 15 years ago, they're finally getting it together.
They got
Thank
their
God.
audience, man. They got the like. Hey, are you 30 years old and do you remember games on Game Boy from when you were a kid? We got
Oh,
those
no.
now.
Well, we got those for yous.
Yep.
And last up on April 3rd is Super Monkey Ball 3D for 3DS.
Nice.
I know. I didn't
play
Classic
that one.
games coming out.
I know.
That's really sad.
April 4th is Elder
What?
Scrolls Online for PC and Mac.
That'll be an interesting. I was so hyped for the game and become less and less hyped, but people are still
Yeah.
really like excited. It's blowing my
Really?
people are like,
Good.
dude, are you gonna play this? Because it's so good. I'm like,
Really? Who says that? I don't know.
I mean, I
I've
enjoyed
received
playing
emails.
the beta, but like I enjoyed it, but I wouldn't say it was like good. Does that
yeah,
make sense?
I feel
Yeah.
really bad about that game.
it
I don't
reminds
see
me
it.
of.
really
I felt the exact same way when I
succeeding.
played Rift. When I played Rift, it was fun to play for a little bit, but after a while, it became tedious. It became a tedious struggle through it, and that's. I mean, it's disappointing for me. I feel like, Angry Joe after Colonial Marines. I'm just like, well, I was hyped for that shit, and now it's garbage.
I don't
Like,
think
that-
it's fair
also-
to equivocate. I don't know, actually. With Elder Scrolls Online, I suppose you would equivocate, but definitely not with
Yeah,
Rift.
yeah, I mean-
Rift was a solid game.
But also,
but Rift. But I'm just comparing the two. It feels the same way. Like Rift was a game that, at its core, I didn't feel like had a soul. Like there was nothing there. Like it had a lot of cool things, had a lot of cool factions. One faction was time travelers. I mean, that's awesome. But at its core, there was no soul there. And I feel like Elder Scrolls is like a game that's lost without there's nothing deep inside of it that makes me go like, God, I need to play this game. Even Warcraft, which I was like, I'm done with Warcraft. I see the new stuff, I'm like, that's kind of interesting. And I like where they're going with this. Even though it's 10, 11 years old, I'm like, that's, you know what? There's at least a heart there. It's like, even though this next expansion is just a shill for the movie, so you understand what characters are in the movie, at least you're like, I feel something here. Elder Scrolls, I just don't. I don't know. I don't know. Same with like, I mean, Star Wars had that soul. Like you felt like, damn, this is fun to play until you got to the end when there was nothing to play. Right.
And
But-
it's funny that you mention MMOs based on beloved brands, because that's one thing that Rift didn't have to worry about is working with a beloved universe that has fans that will inevitably get angry with the stuff you do with that universe. Because I mean, Skyrim was decent, but people still hate it for screwing with the lore in some ways. And same deal when Oblivion came out. Like Elder Scrolls has a very long, regal history of being a strong, tight-knit universe with interesting stories to tell inside of it, and then they go make this like really, well, granted I haven't played it, so don't believe me when I say this at all, bland cookie cutter MMO out of it. It just it's a little heartbreaking as a fan of the games,
Yeah.
It's one of those things where having been, I don't want to say involved with the product, but having been as an insider in the process of them creating it for over a year, like seeing 2 years, seeing them do it from early alpha, you can see the process. And it's one of those things where I wasn't there, so I don't know exactly, but I would almost say somewhere, someone along the line said more MMO, less Elder Scrolls. Because in its first iteration, it was a very Elder Scrolls game, and it was wonderful. And the concern they had was balancing something MMO players would love, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like somewhere along the line, someone was like, less Elder Scrolls-y, more MMO. And then when they crossed over, and people were like, where's my first person? They were like, we'll give them that to balance it back. But first person doesn't do anything. It doesn't give you anything. It's just something to throw to fans to shut them up.
It's like the most shallow
Yeah.
representation of an Elder Scrolls game, and I could have gotten involved in the beta and tried to acquire some early access to it and actually know what I'm talking about when it comes to it. But I just know that if I do, I don't want that heartbreak, because
Right,
I love Elder Scrolls, and I don't want to feel betrayed by it.
With that said, though, like I said when we first got to it, there are a lot of people who have been emailing me like, dude, are you going to play it because it's really fun? Like, a lot of people are really into it. I just don't know if it's for me, because having seen the process of how it went, I wish it was a different game than what it turned out to be. Like, I wish it was the game I played a year ago. I wish it was that, which is sad.
And maybe a year from now, they'll patch it up and it'll be cool again.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just
Elder Scrolls, the fourth.
Those are your releases. Woo!
Yeah.
Yep.
Not a ton.
Oh, the 360 version for Titanfall comes out on April 8th. I wonder why they've been tight-lipped about that one and why it's coming out weeks after the first one.
We're like Titan-lipped. Am I right?
Oh, tight-lipped. Oh.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Awful.
Yeah.
I know.
God damn it. Say
God damn. People in the chat saying, oh, you gotta look at Wargame. That's actually, I wonder if that's the kind of thing you're into, Mr. HOP.
Maybe.
Wargame. Have you played the first two?
No, but I've heard they sound like something I'd be into. I've heard them described as like Total War in a modern setting, and I love me some Total.
Kind of.
No.
Kinda.
Okay. Kind of.
It's more of a kind of. It's definitely large scale. It doesn't have any of the resources of it. It's all about the tactical battles, right? Or real-time tactical battles. It's more like if you played World in Conflict a while ago, which was an awesome
I really need to get onto it, but I just have like too many jobs in my life, really.
Damn. Yeah. Those are a pain in the ass.
They are.
Yeah, I think certainly that you'd probably enjoy it. I actually did play the second one quite a bit, just against AI, and it was pretty satisfying. You had a lot of real-world units. It was very tactical. The UI wasn't that difficult to figure out, so that was nice. Although figuring out what units beat what was. Like, I was a newbie just like the rest. Like, artillery sounds good. Fucking useless. Like, because of course no good player is ever going to stay still to actually be hit by artillery. The maps are so large that artillery sometimes took like a full minute to get across the other side of the map. And then I was like, oh, planes! And then, of course, someone just had some anti-aircraft and fucking destroyed me.
I feel like one of the things that I guess might get lost in the process of like playing a Total War type game in modern setting is kind of a bit of the romanticism, because Total War actually is not, I don't know, between all the Total War games I've played, the AI is awful and the battles. And when you actually get into it and start investing hours into it, it absolutely falls apart. But I end up not being able to stop because it has an element of historical romanticism to it. Like, it's history
charging
porn.
in. Just watching the units interact is fun as well. There's never going to be a time when charging like heavy cavalry into a fucking terrified infantry line
and they depict it so well.
Yeah.
They really know how to do the sounds and the graphics for how to stimulate your brain for what you imagine is going on down inside those tiny men in an exciting and romantic way.
Yeah, definitely.
And then they all died.
Yes,
and that's great. They actually leave the bodies on the ground, which makes you feel like, oh, this is so exciting. Oh.
Yep. I'd say well, at least the last two war games have kind of been like that to some degree. Definitely a lot less units, but honestly, you can also play like 8-player online, and there's a lot of fucking units involved at that point. Plus, you can play as like Sweden. Like, Sweden is a faction in that game, and all the units are Swedish.
Who doesn't want to play as Sweden, you know?
There's some pretty obscure factions. I wonder what the new one... I know the new one has China in it, and they also have boats this time around. And that's what I'm really excited about, because there's nothing better than getting a giant fucking boat off the coast that just shells the shit out of the battlefield.
I'm wondering how interesting it would be to control a naval battle in a modern setting, because... I don't know.
Dull,
do they have a lot of
guns? Not really.
To work with?
Cruise missiles, torpedoes, and like fucking AA guns, I think, is all that they use these days. There's not that many naval engagements in real place anymore. Anyway, yeah, we should actually wrap it up, because we are definitely over time here. But what we should do is, of course, tell people what is coming up. So why don't we start with our guest, who, of course... Well, you can introduce it yourself. Where can you be found? What are you doing?
YouTube.com/BunnyHop Show. When there's events going on, I make borderline journalistic coverage of it. When not, I try to make reviews, and I try to make them super interesting and well-written and awesome. Please check me out. I would appreciate it if you did, and love you forever, and hopefully entertain you as well.
He's Reddit's current little darling, by the way.
Oh, so. Yeah, I know, and that's weird.
Wait for the backlash. It'll come. Don't worry. They'll hate you just like they hated Campster after a while.
Eventually, everyone fucks up eventually, right?
Or they'll just manufacture a reason why they think you fucked up.
This is your fuck up today. Welcome. Thanks for being on.
I can't wait to check my inbox. Look, I already have 116 emails to sort through.
Yay.
When this goes up on YouTube, that's going to be crazy.
A few hundred more. I just
no.
Just
have you not learned from this? The last time you pulled this shit on me, people are still tweeting me 2 years later.
At Total Biscuit, guys.
The novelty will be cool though right now. It hasn't been 2 years yet.
Yep.
Yeah, just look. The Hop. All your emails need to say the Hop, and then just quotes from, I don't know.
Silly things I've said tonight.
Baywatch, because it's similar to the Hoff. Yep.
Right.
Yeah, the Hoff.
Notorious HOP.
I like Notorious HOP. That
Or
sounds.
rap lyrics.
Do you have anything in particular that's coming over the next couple of weeks that you
Yeah,
want?
I'm going to be talking a lot about Ground Zeroes this upcoming week. I'm watching documentaries about Guantanamo Bay and the original 1970s Sacco Vanzetti movie that they use for the creepy song in the game. And there's also some kind of weird anime song that shows up in some horrible tape while people are being treated horribly. I don't want to spoil. And I'm really looking forward to sinking my teeth into that one. And after that, I'm going to be sinking my teeth into Goat Simulator, which is going to be fun. I'm still wondering if I should make some kind of weird review simulator out of it. I don't know. But
Creativity.
As long as your head pops off and wiggles around during Review Simulator, that's all I want.
I'm going to try to get wacky with that review, but not in an obnoxious way. I think I have a few good ideas.
All right, very cool.
Yeah, that sums up the next 2 weeks for me, pretty much.
Indeed. So, Jesse, what's going on Pluto? A place I ever wish I could exile you to.
Pluto is the newest home for all the content you're going to love, guys. It's amazing creators coming together, letting you all know. It is just the place to be. It's going to have everybody. Everyone you like on the internet, we will get them on there because that's what we do. Except for Dodger. No Dodger will be on Pluto. None.
No Dodgers.
None.
Nope.
We'll have a show. We'll have a daily show called Not Dodger, and it will just be everyone but Dodger doing the exact same show as the Daily Bite.
Excellent.
Word for word.
And now we can bring the Cox Optional podcast into being as well. That'll be great.
Yes. So come to Pluto. It's great. You can come see our show. WTF is maybe my favorite show ever.
It's fucking
funny. That's it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. The next year is gonna be fantastic.
You have beat that joke along with everyone else into the ground for the last 2 years, but I will give you credit. It was well executed.
Thank you.
Originality is not your strong point. I realize.
We found the best footage that we could find.
Oh yeah,
literally,
that was
like 5 minutes.
Crisis 3 beta, I think. Yeah.
It's so amazing. I was like, oh, TP. So yeah, there you go. Go to youtube.com/Jesse Cox for all your Pluto updates. Pluto, definitely sponsored by Disney.
Dodger.
I have 2 channels. I have one, youtube.com/pressheart-to-continue, where I play weird visual novels and love sims mostly, and then do news on the weekends. And then I have another channel called Yeah, it's awesome. It's awesome bad. And then I have another channel called Dexterity Bonus, where every day I drink coffee and talk about my cats and my day and TV shows and all of that.
Tiers of free to play now.
Yeah, all of that. And so please come. Please watch me on all of the social medias. I am Dexbonus, DEXBONUS. The end.
And I have 2 channels, of course, Cynical Brit and Total Biscuit. Total Biscuit is where my StarCraft content is. If you missed any of the Clan Wars last month, we did 10 Clan Wars between 15 incredible teams for StarCraft 2. They're all there. You can watch all of them. They're great. Upcoming videos, I will most likely be doing Age of Wonders. That's what I'm working on right now. It is taking a shitload of time to really dig into it.
So and that sounds rad.
It's really great. I like it a lot right now, but we'll see if that actually stays that way. We'll see. Goat Simulator will get the inevitable video. I will most likely analyze it from the perspective of it actually being a video game, and will most likely reprise what we've talked about here, and then people will get mad at me for not getting the joke. That's what's going to happen. I was going to do Barbarian today, but the game managed to lock up my entire PC, so I don't know what's going on with that. And the port has the silliest key bindings ever, and you can't change them. So that's a bit disappointing, because I actually like that on iOS. I will probably do more of Steam Cells, because I cannot wait to do My Vet Practice in the Country, My Riding Stables, Life with Horses, My Riding Stables, which... I guess that was the sequel. My Pet Hotel 2, My Pet Hotel, My Best Friends, Cats and Dogs. Thank God.
That's a lot of animals.
I am really happy that Steam has opened its doors to such wonderful titles and allowed a cavalcade, a cornucopia of originality and different genres to flood on in to our illustrious retailer.
As a YouTube critic, they have given you a lot of material to work with.
Yup. Yep, that series is gonna be a thing, and it's Steam's fault, so fuck you. Oh, and Shannon tweets, Attack of the Groupies, ladies and gentlemen. Are you prepared? Yeah. I don't think you are.
Oh,
absolutely
that looks so rad.
not. Shannon and Sophie Tweed Simmons,
so good.
The wife of Gene Simmons, has her own what appears to be a fucking tower defense game. Why? I have no idea, but it's published by Strategy First, surprising no one in the world ever.
Guys, I just want to point out, technically you don't own Shannon Tweed's tower defense game. You're renting it. So just remember that.
Good.
Same with the pony game. You don't own that. You're renting a pony game. So
it's true.
Keep that in mind, folks.
Indeed. What a beautiful world that we live in, ladies and gentlemen. Please, thank you very much for watching the Co-Optional Podcast, Special Disney Sellout Edition. Thanks to our corporate overlords who are keeping us alive right now with intravenous injections of various
I'm just a head in a jar.
Stimulants.
This is all CGI.
Pretty much, yeah. That's the budget that was unlocked here. That's the technology that was available. They couldn't fix Skype, but let's be honest, they're not gods. So
I have to pee.
Okay.
Bye.
Is that your I have to pee face? You're like, I have to pee.
Just making this as awkward as possible.
I have to pee.
I have to pee.
Oh my god.